Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. You know what this is, man. This is Way Out Wednesday. This is Way Out Wednesday. So normally Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday we have topics that we talk about. But if you've been listening to us for a minute, on Thursdays, on Wednesdays, I'm sorry, we don't have a topic at all. It's Way Out Wednesday. You can call in and talk about whatever you want to talk about. But there is an exception today. Today is the day that we had something that we started talking about yesterday. And the young ladies, one of the young ladies that's actually a part of the broadcast, she made a comment that men, bros, we need to stay home. When we make a baby, we need to stay home and take care of the baby, take care of that child. Now, I don't disagree with her. As a matter of fact, I agree with her. If we make the responsibility of creating a child, making a child, then we really need to stay there and take care of that child. That's a part of our responsibility. But I said to her that I would grant her that, but I also said that women have to stop pushing men out of their homes. And a lot of ways that they do that is in nagging and complaining and all kind of different things that they have a tendency to do sometimes. Didn't set very well. Didn't set, needless to say, excuse me, that didn't set very well. Excuse me, this morning. That didn't set very well, and so we said that we was going to have a conversation based on that today, and we're going to talk about that today. I'm not important. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem, but this is my brother from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Captain Leonard. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
See, I know you ain't a happy elephant and lady and porcupine proud. You looked at that clock, didn't you? Go ahead, don't you start no mess with me this morning.
You're doing very well, Mr.
Thank,
Ashime.
thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Now, Captain Leonard,
Yes,
the
sir.
young lady, and you was on yesterday when she said we're not gonna call her name. Hopefully, she's gonna call in and be a part of the conversation this morning as
Mm-hmm.
well. But she said that, and I agree with her. If you make a baby, you should take responsibility for that child. That the young lady, she didn't make that baby by herself. And so we both male and female have a part in raising that child, rearing, like old folks say, rearing that child. I made the point though. I made the point though that a lot of times, young ladies, they have a tendency to push, push, push a man and complaining and treating him so bad and doing so. I don't need a man attitude and all the different things that they say collectively. Sometimes as women, they push a man out of the house when he really don't want to go. So who has the biggest part in that, Leonard? What do you see this whole situation? Because these ladies gonna call in. They're gonna come after us today, Leonard. What's on your heart, brother?
Well, I think that some people do the best that they can. There are some people that just don't have the skills to really be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do want to be in a successful relationship, you
Successful. I like that.
you want to have some communication skills.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to get into the back and forth about he said, she said,
Mm-hmm.
because I deal with the reality of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
What do you desire? What is the desired outcome?
Mm-hmm.
If it does not move that way, then you must change.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is the desired outcome?
Mm-hmm.
Because you take for granted that she wants you there.
Mm. See that now, Leonard. I'm gonna tell you something, brother. That's a very valid point. That's a
Don't
very
uh,
valid
don't
point.
don't take for granted just because somebody. Man, you know what, man? Glory.
Mm. Mm.
Let me tell you how the spirit of God works. My mother used to say, "You don't let nobody love you no any kind of way."
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
true.
just cause a woman give you what's between her legs do not mean she care nothing about you.
Mm-hmm. At all. At all.
So we
But then
must go. Go ahead.
I got to see you hit me with that one, brother, and that's so very true. But my question is, why would she not want the father of that child to be in that child's life? Why would she make it so? Even if she don't want to be with him, even if she don't want to be with him at all, she don't want a relationship with him at all. Why does she sacrifice the relationship with the child though?
For the very simple fact, tricking off is tricking off.
Wow.
Wasn't no love in it. Wasn't no love in the conception.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes you
Mm-hmm.
think love gon' just follow automatically?
I think my point, my question. I think my question was a little different though, and I understand the part that you're saying, and that's good. That's good. But my thing is, the child still needs, whether you have there was any love in the conception of how y'all came together, what y'all did, grown folk activities, all that's good. But don't the child still need and deserve to have the father in his or her life?
The child is a product of the union of two people.
Yes, absolutely.
Whether you love one another or not, if
Mm-hmm.
you do what you if you do that thing that makes babies, you're gonna have one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One baby carries.
Hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
along the way, you will accept and love that child. And I'm saying hopefully very, very
Mm-hmm.
sincerely,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if you see the way children are born and raised, there's something else going on now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we have to be aware of that. Y'all know the people that you was like, Lord, why is that person pregnant?
Mm. Yeah.
But see,
Yeah.
you'll sit there and say, yeah, God will fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But he might just see how long, see what you gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Wow.
because God can step in at any time.
Mm-hmm.
You on the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And so that relation, if this child was not conceived in love, you cannot expect things to go well.
I can agree. And truth of the matter, and the phone lines are open. Give us a call, 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input. I can agree with a piece or a part of that, but at the same time, my vision, my point of right now of reference, if you will, is that child. And regardless of the relationship, that because these two people, man, these two grown consensual adults that did the adult activities, they did what they wanted to do. And like you said, out of that activity that they had, a child was born. A child was born out of that activity. They may not have anything. They may just like the way the other person look. There's something
Exactly.
might have just said, a person said a certain thing to them, and they like the
Or you
how the
got
thing came
or
across.
you got dressed that night and said, I'm going to go lay down with somebody tonight.
Exactly. But see, my thing is, and I'm gonna go to Rico because Rico's on the line as well. My thing is this right here. Why, even if that's the case, and in some situations, unfortunately, it is. Two people want to lay down, they got this little itch and they want to get it scratched, and they do. And in that activity, this child is born, but still, don't the child, Rico, don't the child still have the right and should deserve to be able to know both parents?
Of course, regardless of what the reason is,
Mm-hmm.
and to make sure that it just don't go in that direction. It ain't just a one night stand. Sometimes with people tricking off. Sometimes it's people getting in relationships. One person don't realize they got a good thing, they lose them, and now all of a sudden they mad
Mm-hmm.
because they can't get that person back. See, we live in a society where human beings like to get vengeance or retaliate.
Mm-hmm.
They like to have control. They like to use children as pawns, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't have to come from a one night stand. It don't have to come from just, being foolish and irresponsible. It can really just come from the fact that one spouse is butt hurt and they got vengeance on their mind.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna punish you for not being in my life and putting up with my mess. Even though think about the situation where sometimes people get in relationships and maybe they move too soon, but one of the people deceive them about a lot of things, just about probably the character.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many different situations why people get together and create life, and then all of a sudden those people can't get along, and then one person decides to, I'm gonna say, restrict that child from his right to know where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
That there are many reasons why a person, why people have babies.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get to the point of getting out of order and breaking up that process of a person or a child knowing where they came from, then there's something else wrong with you, regardless of why you lay it down.
Mm-hmm.
You still, how you doing, little man? You still got a throw mindset, something that's still warping you to the point of where you say, well, you know what? I don't like him, so I ain't gonna let this child know where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to know them folks. But them folks on the other side of the family might be the ones that are actually going to take them down a world of positivity, success, maturity. So it's, you know, it's a lot of selfish, it may be a lot of selfish intentions behind that. It may not be justified at all.
Wow. And and that's where we are today, man. You know, and at the end of the day, I say, and this is just me talking. Y'all can definitely give me a call again, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Phone lines are wide open. But I say that we're in a not so good place right now, where you could, one parent could sacrifice the other parent being a part of their child's life. Rather they want to be, and again, and I gotta keep emphasizing, whether you want to be with that joker or not. I'm just gonna say it that way. Whether you, as an adult, want to be in a relationship with that person or not, that child still have the right to know the other parent. Ibrahim, I had you on mute.
I'm sorry, Raheem.
Say it again.
Excuse me.
What you say?
Oh, just excuse me.
Oh,
I didn't
I'm
know
sorry.
if you heard that.
Okay. Ibrahim.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning to everybody. You know, so this is Wild and Out Wednesday. Oh,
yes, sir. You know what this is, brother. You know, and I think you came ready to be wild this morning too. I see you rubbing your little beard and everything. So I'm a little worried about you, Ibrahim. I'm a little worried about you. But what do you say? What do you say about that, brother? Two people get together and perform adult activities, and in that activity, a child is born. One parent say, a lot of times the woman say, I don't want him to be a part of this child's life. Don't that child have the right to know the dad?
Yes. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I do have two experiences. But the most recent experience is I found out that I have a son that's 53 years old. I just met him. And we took a it's funny how we met. But anyway, we took a test to verify 9999996 son. I don't remember his mother. I don't remember anything. She don't remember me, and blah 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 blah. But however, you know, it is what it is, right? And so anyway, I was skating till he was 30 years old. He found out that he had that the man that he thought was his father wasn't his father. So for 24 years, he'd been having all kind of hate and discontent about me because he didn't know, and he was told a lot of things, right? You know, with possibilities, right? Another suspect, until one of my nephews took a test, you know, to Ancestry.com, and he had taken a test to try to find out who his father was. That's how we came together, you know. Wow. And then we took another test to make sure that I was his father, not another brother that I didn't know. You know what I mean? And but anyway, there it is. So he you know, he got angry. He was angry at me. Then he got angry at his mother. But his mother said, "Yeah, I want you to try to know your people and all like that," which was good, you know. And so he's finding out my family, and he's got such a large family from my side that it's impossible. Our history goes back to Georgia to the 1700s, at least as far as we can trace them, you know. So he's found a lot of stuff up, but he's still trying to work through a lot of things, you know. I'm open, you know. I'm open. I was, you know, that's my responsibility. If it had to be a responsibility, whatever, you know, I open. If he wanted to file, but of course he couldn't do it. But if he wanted to file some child support, you know what I mean? Hey, I wouldn't be angry with him. You know what I mean? As long as it was some kind of honest sincerity. And so yeah, I think that a lot of time women cause problems. And then I had a divorce in 2003. And but my mother, her mother had turned her against me in so many ways, right? By sitting having in grown folk conversation, having all these thoughts and animosities or possibilities about what I was doing and everything from the daughter. And then after divorce, she was still in that confine. So she had things about me that hated me, the things that never happened. You know what I mean?
And so my whole point is this right here. I got to mute you, bro. You got some background noise coming from your line, some kind of way. I mute your line there. But my whole thing is, regardless, and your situation is a little different because you didn't know. But a lot of times women would say, and Leonard, come to you. A lot of times women would say that men, like the young lady said yesterday, men, be a part of your children's life, be a part of this and be a part of that. Leonard, can you center yourself a little bit? You're off screen. Okay. See, men be a part of your children's life, do this and do that and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes, Leonard, sometimes, and not in all cases, but sometimes them women just, they nag and they do so many things, man, and they make it difficult for the man to even want to be there. Whether he leave or not, that's a whole different situation, but they make it difficult for him to even want to be there. What do you say to that?
You know, it's up to the people. And, you know, I'm going forward with my opinion about the rights of a child.
Mm-hmm.
Where did y'all get these rights from?
You don't think it's a right for a child? You don't think a child have a right to know who his or her parent, both parents are?
A child has no will in this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that child has every right once he becomes an adult to search out his background, his heritage, and everything. My issue is the anger.
The anger and
Well, but think about it. Are you
missing.
angry
Something is
because
missing.
you just want to be?
Mm-mm.
Because there isn't what Brother Raheem was saying. I mean, excuse me, Ibrahim was saying.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a different
So
situation.
it wasn't nothing that. But even then, still, you have to plant anger sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And by not, and then sometimes people go overboard with this relationship between parent and child. The child don't make demands on the parent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for whatever reason, the parent fell into a situation or what have you, that adult child can see himself in that parent. Now, are they doing the same thing? Why are they angry? If I didn't know if I don't remember your mama and your mama don't remember me, who was keeping you from something?
And again, I say that's a different situation right there. I'm saying when both people are aware, that there's a child out there, and for whatever reason, one of the parents, be it the male or walk away, or the woman push him away or whatever, that still leaves that child in a situation where, you know, and children are very inquisitive. And they're going to
Right.
wonder. They're going to wonder, man. They're going to wonder, and it's always going to be some of the men. They go somewhere, man. Say if a child go playing sports. Let me use this as an example. He's playing sports. He or she is playing sports, and they look in the stands, man, and all their friends got their families and mama and daddy up there cheering for them and all this stuff, and they only have one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe say if it's the mother, she's in the
stands.
I
only had one.
Yeah. And so you look up there, you're like, man. And if the father is still around, still in existence, you wonder that child being inquisitive, they're gonna wonder, man, you know, where my dad at? Why he never come?
Right. Now that is very natural. Like I knew where my father was. He was dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you know, Leonard, you can't do nothing about that part of it.
Oh, I mean, I could be as angry as I want to be, about anything. My father was a very private person.
Mm-hmm.
So
I see you, Graham.
I look at people's situation as individual situations, and when I at least hear their side of the story on why they have done what they have done. But I don't think that anybody should be on the attack unless they have been misused. So if you've been misused, I understand animosity. But
do you think a child could feel misused if just simply because of the fact that other parent is not there, and maybe some situation, you know, you may even know the child, and make I'm coming to get you, I'm coming to hang out with you, I'm coming to do this and do that, and just never show up.
See, that's misuse.
Yeah, that's my point.
Right, exactly. that's a point right there. That's completely about that parent's behavior and everything that can be observed by the child. But I think one of the biggest issues is why the animosity, why people can't work together and co-parent more successfully in a lot of situations, because most people are working it out. Like say, for instance, but it would not have been good for a situation for me. If a person knocked on my door right now and said that they was my son, let's sit down and talk about it. There don't have to be no animosity. I don't even know you. I never knew you existed. So if you come in here and sit down with an attitude about you being mad, I'm gonna put you in your place. Because you have no reason to come in here with animosity for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But and there's so many different things. I'm waiting on my ladies to call in, man, because I know they're gonna come in here with some stuff with them, man. They're gonna come in here with some stuff. So, fellas, we are and it's not a man against female type situation, but they're gonna bring some stuff to us now. Rico, what's on your heart? Ibrahim, I see you, brother. I see you, Ibrahim. I got a video here, brother. I can see you. Rico, what's on your heart?
And hopefully when they come in, this is gonna be the only topic, because there's gonna be several issues that we could address about the accountability or responsibility of men and women.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to go back to these children. The question that you're asking, those children got a right to know where they came from. It ain't the fact that they're making demands. It's just their natural God-given right to know their legacy. Who are your grandparents? Who are your uncles and aunts? Who are your first cousins? I hear so many instances of people not knowing who their fathers are, and then all of a sudden they go in the grocery stores, and there's always a man that's nice to them for some reason. But they don't know why this man is extra nice to them, and then they find out later on down the road, well, that's your real granddad.
Mm-hmm.
After all these years, you kept this secret from me. You see, the thing is we ask, why is this behavior happening? It might not be happening all the time, but for the cases that it does happen, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's abnormal for a woman to be like that. And there may be several reasons. Like I said, it could be that the fact that the father is a bad guy, or maybe she's seeking vengeance. But see, there's a thing that happened in the court system that pretty much automatically assumed that the mother would be the best custodian for a child in the place of two parents not being together, which I think some states are changing that now. But see, that entitlement, that prestige, that honor bestowed upon you as being assumed to be the most fit parent between the mother and the father, it is automatically assumed through the court system that it is best for the child to be with that mother.
Mm-hmm.
But that mother is lying about who the parent is. She might not even know. So this is why it's so important for a child to know where they came from. Not just when they're 7 or 8 years old, or not just because they ain't got a dad in the stands, because when they turn 15, that mama might not have been able to control them little raising hormones in that young man, and he started having sex early. And in the process of him having sex early, and not only having a man in his life, but his proper father, he might start having sex with a sibling because they don't know their shell fathers. You don't know where you come from. And I've seen that situation happen. A boy and a girl, or a man and a woman, in love. You know how people nowadays, they document their process through social media. So, you'll see the pictures from the beginning all the way to the end. Well, their ending ended up at the baby shower. And when they invited their parents to come, both of them found out they had the same daddy.
Wow.
And her belly swole. And they're in love and they want to get married. And then neither one of them demand to know who their father was. They thought they know who their father was. I think they knew, but they didn't have a relationship with him. I don't know how that confusion happened, but you see that key word I said, confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Kids walk around here confused, not knowing who their fathers are. And when the mother had them tested for 4 or 5 different dudes, and they don't call 4 or 5 different dudes, now they're embarrassed when they see these guys in public. And then at the same time, they still have to walk around and wonder when people say, I know your mama. How good do you know my mama?
Mm-hmm.
Is you my daddy? Have you ever walked in a home and had that happen?
Wow.
I walked in the home one time and had a little boy come up and say that, and the first thing I thought of was a comedy routine I had heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, this is real. This little boy just asked me if I'm his daddy.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
The little boys wonder. Now not only are they curious, but I think all of us had brains at one point in time as we were youth that made us ask, where did we come from? How did this start?
Mm-hmm.
Who made my daddy daddy? Who made his daddy? How did this all begin? Where's my part in this?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of youth ask those questions when they're young because this is an amazing experience, an amazing thing that you're seeing, and you're just trying to figure out how this all started and how you became a part of it. And in the process, now you don't know where your other side came from.
Mm-hmm. And see, and that goes back to, like I said earlier, we got Toya with a T with this is where I want to go to her. But I think the child really deserves to know, to have some kind of relationship. And like a lot of people will say a lot of time, well, man, you need to stay there. You need to stop abandoning your family, blah, 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 blah. Well, That's true. That's absolutely true. But women, play your part as well, and stop pushing these men out of the house or out of the child's life because of the fact that you have an issue with him. Your issue with him should have nothing to do with his relationship with his child. Toya with a T, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm taking my head down, y'all. So, I don't think y'all, I ain't never scared, but I don't think y'all ready for the kid with this hairdo right now. But no, see, listen, I love y'all, but I don't want to hear that, leader. Hear the household. I want to hear that. Stop having sex with people in less than 17 minutes. How about that? We so loose on both parts. The man just as nasty as the woman if you got 6 baby mamas. What are you talking about? We too loose. But at the end of the day, men are right in what they say. Men, God has really been helping me look at the role that men really have, and men really do get shortchanged. It's like men supposed to sit in the corner in a rocking chair, just let people do whatever they want to, and that's not the reality. The devil is really distorting the position of a man. And when you start going into colors of men, how we do our black men, they really get the short end of the stick. So you are right when you say that sometimes it makes it hard. Women make it hard for the black man to be there, but because that's the point of imbalance. I'm starting to see the first time. This is why a man can't have sex with me. The first time you come and even open up your lips talking about a sex, I know you're not on God's side. And the infiltration begins. We don't even understand that first inkling of you just wanting to jump my bones in under 17 minutes and me being silly, goofy, and weak enough to let you do it without protection, knowing that when a penis and a vagina get together, it makes a baby. That is the first infiltration right there. We just sitting back, we looking at wedlock babies right now. That's what's going on in the world. And we still acting like we so confused on what happened. Because you laid with that woman, you didn't get time to know. I tell my nephews this all the time because they're in their 30s and some now. And I'm like, listen, we've been telling y'all don't do that because it wasn't the right thing. You saw what we did before you. And you still chose to go out there and make those choices and decisions. And you're paying consequences from it because we're out of order. And we ain't got no God. We ain't got no standard. We giving up booty for less than a McDonald's burger. And we making babies and ain't even got a McDonald's job. We take this stuff for a joke. And then we encourage and influence our kids to sow royal oats. Not, don't you be getting out here getting no girls pregnant because you're finna get married. Now, back in the day, they was talking about y'all getting married, one getting shipped up the road, honey. Not finna be walking around here with no belly. You not married and all this carrying on. You might as well get ready to drop out of school, get you a job, and take care of these babies. We don't do that no more. The mamas are sitting up there talking about what ain't. So it's just confusion on why women run the men off and why the men can't maintain their rightful positions. It's a twofold situation. But if the man come correct, we ain't got no choice but to come correct. Period. I'm just saying, if y'all the leader in the head, y'all nip it in the butt right there. Stop making it seem like you can't see a pair of boobs without losing your doggone mind. Stop being weak and soft and squishy. What we gonna do if we following y'all lead? So this mess is on both parts.
And see, that's the part right there, and it is. And to your point, it's absolutely on both parts. But Ibrahim, brother, it is on both parts. It really is. But my thing is my concentration right now is that child, because two consenting adults did what they did. They got involved in the adult activities. Like I said earlier, they got involved in those activities. And they did what they did for whatever reason. We don't know what the reasons are. It could be so simple as the wind blew. Oh, there she go. And they do what they do. My thing is, after the fact, we have to make sure that child is adequately taken care of, and that they have a relationship with both parents. Not because I really didn't like you, no way. I only know why we did what we did. What you did. The child is here now. We got to concentrate on the child. It's not about us anymore. It's about the child. Ibrahim, what's on your heart? Hold on, brother. I think you're not muted on this end, brother. There's something going on with your sound. Rico, talk to me, brother. Ibrahim, get work on that, and I'll come back to you.
Man, I'm glad we got 3 hours, but this conversation might not go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, whether they got together after 17 minutes or 17 days or 17 months, it's still a lot of good relationships where the mother got scorned. See, every woman ain't a 17-minute woman. Some women just mad and nasty, and they entitled. And they know all I got to do is call them white folks on you. You know what they gonna do, and you a black man too. Oh, you don't want me to take you to court? All because you won't tolerate some things. Maybe there are numerous reasons why a woman could be that way. Like I said, maybe it's because the dude ain't a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what happens, if that man is trying to be in that child's life, she has to hold herself accountable for not allowing him to be in his life if he's a quality dude, if he isn't going to be harmful to that child.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the point is. After everything is said and done, and you done been out here and been nasty, and the child is here, we have a situation where somebody say, well, you know what? This is a result of a one-night stand, but I got to be a daddy. You hear them on paternity court all the time. I just want to find out so I can be the best dad that I could be.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't going to do that until I find out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now they find out. Now you ain't going to see him. You ain't going to see him. Just cut me my check. Wait a minute. What you mean I ain't going to see him? I need to be in his life. And he probably needs me to be in his life, or she needs me to be in her life. Maybe it was the result of a one-night stand. Let me take my responsibility because this child needs the support of both parents.
Mm-hmm.
We hear it. So that I think that's what the understanding is, or that's really what the purpose is when everything is said and done. Yeah, you wrong. Let's point the finger at everybody for being wrong. You. That's what you do. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
Now the child still needs a father in his life.
Yep.
Now what? I'm still trying to be in his life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people go to jail. They go through a whole lot of stuff, man, that a lot of people wouldn't understand. You be like, man, you went through all that just to try to be in your child's life?
Mm-hmm.
This is what you had to do. Just think about it. A man shouldn't have to ask to be a father. He shouldn't have to beg. He shouldn't have to work so hard when he's trying. So, you know, it's like, you know, a lot of times we have these saying, y'all men quit running away. Y'all men stay in these children's life. You know what I'm saying? Be a father. Well, we shouldn't have to ask to be father to children that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Or we shouldn't have to find out where our children live, regardless of what the beginning of that situation started out like. The child is here.
Exactly.
And we have a situation in our community where children are lacking their fathers and they don't know who their fathers are. And it's a lot of confusion and anger. And they're really angry because they fell in love with somebody and slept with them, and they found out they were their sibling, they were their cousin. Mm-hmm. Now they're having taboo love.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to stop. And it's somebody's fault.
Mm-hmm.
It might be the man, might be the woman. But those children have to deal with those situations because of irresponsible adults. Not being irresponsible for having them, but being irresponsible after having them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
Absolutely.
when they canceling Roe versus Wade. Okay, you're pretty much trying to guarantee away the right to the life of a child. But after that child is born, then what? You're going to leave them to be put in the oven?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to leave them to be molested? You're going to leave them to be forgotten about and people in the school not realizing they're not enrolling anymore? And now you find out they've been missing for the last 8 years and ain't nobody knew nothing?
There's a lot of different layers on this thing. There's definitely a lot of layers on this thing. And I want everybody to call in, man. I want to hear what you all have to say. What's on your hearts about this thing? 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Ibrahim, you gotta go to Ibrahim. We done lost him. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Like, I mean, the desired outcome of not just this subject, but this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Is it to shape and mold behavior in a better way?
Absolutely.
Okay. So in order to do that, you need to take responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about your excuses or anything like that.
Now, are you talking about both sides or
I'm talking about both sides.
Okay.
Excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got an excuse for not doing that which was right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how you gonna get right if you don't want to do right?
Come on.
How? I mean, what's your next step?
Mm-hmm.
I sit in child support court and all these courts, helping and assistance used to do this. Really liked one judge out in DeKalb County and her perspective on these situations and things of that nature. And one thing she would always give the parents the option to do, I'll tell you what, I want y'all to go outside and I want y'all to come up with a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I have to come up with it, you're probably not going to like it very much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So one, my issue is when people put their irresponsibility at the front as if, let's just forget about what I did and take advantage of another situation.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, you started off wrong. Like when you sitting up in here, just when you listen to certain people's issues, first thing they don't want to do is accept responsibility. Once you accept responsibility, it's so much easier to plan for the next step.
Mm-hmm.
For the next step. Whatever happened. Okay, I don't know what happened, but you know what? I'm finna be a father today. Even some women have different views of child support and all these other types of things because of watching other people's situations. They may have grew up in that situation, this, that, and the other. However, if people always say it's the needs of the child, yeah, a man will say that and then disappear and go do what he want to do.
That's right.
And then wonder why she acting the way she acting. Was she acting like that when you laid her down? Was she acting like that then? What happened all of a sudden? Now she don't like you no more.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? What did you do to her? Because when a woman is pregnant is when she is most vulnerable emotionally.
Yeah.
And she would love to be in a nurturing, positive environment, having that child and nurturing her pregnancy with the man that got her pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So if she hates your guts all of a sudden for some reason, that didn't just come out the air.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do? People talking about, well, the man, quit running these men off. Running a man off? You wasn't no man.
No, I don't agree with that.
But tell you what, did you hold her down when you were screwing?
My thing is this right here, and I you know the answer to that already. But my thing is this right here. I think that a person anybody has a possibility of nagging and doing different things.
Exactly, just like a man.
And that's fine. But we talking about the one that left or that drove somebody off. I think if a person nags you long enough, hard enough, and strong enough, then everybody got a breaking point. Everybody have a breaking point. Why can't it be a little more peaceful? Why can't you want me to be this way? You want me to be so loving, so kind, so appreciative.
But are you that way?
I am. But every time, I come in your presence, you talking bad to me. I'm not this, I'm not that. I ain't this and I ain't that. And so my thing is, you can't justify one side while being what's the word I'm looking for? Being rude, disrespectful to the other side.
But what about that road that got there?
That's right.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But my point is this, and you got a point there. But my thing is this right here. You can't say that I come into the house. I'm happy. Y'all know me. I'm a happy-go-lucky kind of guy, and I'm always jolly and like to have a good time. But if I come into my house and every time I come into my house, my wife is nagging me and I'm doing this or I didn't do that or I ain't hitting on this and I ain't hitting on that, man, that's gonna win anybody.
But how did she wind up in your house?
Well, people are together for a reason.
Y'all shacking or is y'all married?
No, I said my wife. Your
wife. So y'all married. Y'all don't took some oaths before the Lord, right? Oh, okay. But now all of a sudden, y'all can't work nothing out.
See, Leonard, in that world, I can understand what you're saying, but in the real world, people that's why the divorce rate is so high. A lot of times people cannot work things out, but that don't mean they can't be sociable with each other. That don't mean they can't have a healthy conversation and communication with each other. That's my point. Yes, the divorce rate is real high, and people say all the time, well, the divorce rate in the church is higher than in the world. Maybe that's the case. We're not going to talk about that. But we are going to talk about is the divorce rate is high, and so something is happening. So somewhere along the line, people are not communicating effectively, like you say.
But maybe they're just choosing not to be together, and but it wasn't matches in the first place.
Well, see, now you're going back to what got them together. That goes right back to my point. That goes back. Hold on, I come to you, Rico. That goes back to my point when I say maybe the wind blew and they got together. Go ahead, Rico.
Oh wow.
How many times have you heard somebody say, "Man, you know what? She wasn't like this in the beginning.
Yeah.
Or he wasn't like this in the beginning. Somehow he changed. Something happened. She used to clean up. She used to cook. She used to be a little nicer. I tried to get her to cooperate, but man, she just got lazy and started getting more demanding and nagging. And I couldn't put up with it no more because my health started getting bad. I was stressing out, and I tried, man. I went to counseling with the church. I tried, and guess what? We had to do what a lot of people do. We had to get a divorce. Now I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Well, what you do to her is your fault.
Yeah,
but I still want to be in my child life.
Exactly.
I still want to be in my child life. Oh, y'all just shacking up. 17. No, we've been together 10 years. And I put up with it. She changed after 3.
She changed.
I just called a 7-year itch. Wow. This ain't new. Some things change as you get in relationships, and everybody don't stay the same. Everybody don't get better. It's called life. It's called reality. And in some situations, women just take advantage of the opportunity to use children as pawns. We have heard this since before we were born. But now, just maybe to prove our point, or just not to want to understand, we want to open our minds to see that it's responsibility on both sides. You have deadbeats, ain't no excuse, ain't no reason. And you have, I'm going to say, what would you call them? Correctional officer mothers. Ain't no excuse, ain't no reason. Regardless of what he did. He may have been cheating on her. He may have been a dog. He may have gotten other children on her. But at the same time, he might be a good father as far as supporting that child. Guiding them down the road the way he don't go to prison or something. And maybe the dude cheated for a reason or an excuse. You know, there's so many different reasons why somebody step out their marriage. Maybe they're not being fulfilled, or maybe somebody didn't obligate their duties as a wife when they did what they did on the oath, on the matrimony. You know, some people say that a woman is supposed to lay down with a man when he wanted to, when he get married to him. That somehow y'all gonna be able to find out and dig in between that. I don't know, I ain't religious. But at the same time, you know, somebody might renege on the deal. They might start using that catch as a bargaining chip in that marriage. No, we ain't gonna put up with that. And I'm trying to cooperate with you, but you know what? You already know that you ain't got to cooperate because the court and the family court sort of leans in your favor. And I'm the breadwinner. You know what I mean? So it's like, we got to get it out this box, man. It's in the box of people just laying down, and these situations happen because they were just having flimsy sex, when really and truly, that ain't the only situation that's happening where these children are being denied the right to their parents.
That's the only way we get some children, though.
Yeah. 508-924-3521. I knew this is gonna be very interesting today. I went to bed last night saying we're gonna have an interesting one tomorrow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input. Ibrahim, I'm gonna come to you, but I got Donald. He's actually on standby on the line. Just called in. Tucson, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Okay, this is the DKM Radio. If you missed this broadcast, you can. Rico, you're going to have to do that right now because it's going to get ugly.
It's about to get ugly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's going to get, how they say, uglier. But go ahead, Tucson. What's on your heart, brother?
No, pick your A-man corner to get in.
Yes, sir.
Because it's interesting. Everything, let me start off by saying everything looks good and good. Nobody, you know what I did? I'm going to tell you, the confession booth this morning. I fool around and didn't check with God. I just went. I looked. And I fell hook, line, and sinker. Made some promises. But like Rico said, what in the world? And y'all tell me, why is it there's so much of a drastic change when you sign them papers?
I got you now. I got you now.
Wait a minute. We can't go out like this. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you don't cook nothing? We got a brand new stove. We got a brand new refrigerator. And we going out. We've been going out for the last 6 months.
That wasn't your clue? Silly.
Wow.
I'm just gonna sit behind Toya today. I'm just gonna sit behind Toya all day today because I know we agree.
Go ahead, Tucson. Handle it, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, Silly. Go ahead, Silly. Tell on yourself some more, Silly, on all the clues that she showed you that she didn't cook. Go ahead, keep talking.
Okay, hold on. Time out. Since they did that, Donald, how about, yes, I can cook. I showed you I can cook. I'm just tired of cooking.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Another clue.
Hold on. Boy, this gonna, boy, y'all gonna challenge my hosting skills today, boy.
Wait a minute. All of these promises, and wait a minute. How am I going to sleep like this? Y'all want to get real ugly? Wait,
Tucson took a turn on us. Yeah, you took a turn on us, Tucson. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. You just took a turn, bro.
Come on now. To have and to hold.
Yeah.
And you don't want me to touch you?
So you want some holding to be going on.
What? And here's another thing. We don't even have a conversation. We don't discuss things. You just do. Because you like nice things. Of course, I'm going to go out and try to get them. But I've been trying to get them a little bit too much. And you tired of you jolly? Oh, you quit. Really? You just up and you did what? You sick of them people.
Well, y'all, it's amazing. And I knew this was gonna happen on this conversation. One person gonna paint a picture for one side, other person gonna paint a picture for the other side, and it's gonna be a tennis match back and forth. It's a tennis match, man.
Yeah, that's what happens, Raheem. So that's why I said pick your side.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna get real ugly, and especially because you see, the amen corner that I'm hearing, and what you call me, Toya?
She said you silly because you didn't see the signs. Yeah, she said you silly because you did not see the signs, brother.
Silly.
She showed you who she was.
You didn't believe it. Well, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna shut up right now. You can at least comb your head.
Lord Jesus. Now you don't call the woman nappy head. Lord Jesus. Ibrahim, you've been waiting for a minute, brother. Let me unmute you there. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You got me unmuted.
Look at for you, Lord Jesus.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. You can talk.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, but I'm looking at the lady over there, looking at her avatar. And it brings to mind one thing, right? We know what attracts the opposite sex, right? We know what attracts people. And God gave us this ability to want to be attracted and have sex with each other, right? It don't make no difference who the woman is character. See, I understand people trying to intellectualize and build up this thing that we've been told all these years, but basically, it's a sexual attraction. That's what it is. We're supposed to procreate. Now, God might not have put this to be in your life forever, but He might put it out for y'all to have this child, right? This might be part of your lineage, right? This child might be somebody, regardless of the circumstances, right? And that's why we're not adults. you know, when a girl reaches a certain age, she is physically ready to have a child. And we have laws and we have these social things that help us to not break, these social normal codes, which changes over the years. They just changed the laws in the most southern states that a girl could marry at 15 or 16 or 13 for that matter in the state of Georgia. They just changed these laws. This has been going on hundreds of years or thousands of years, right? And now we think of ourselves above what God had prepared for us, right? And what God has made us do. We're supposed to work situations out. You're not going to be handed something that's going to be perfect for you. You might be a character builder. And like my daddy used to say, let me throw this in, right? He said, a woman going to change on you. As soon as you put that ring on her finger, you sign that paper, right? Or she have a baby by you in the state of Georgia, because after 6 months, it was called common law marriage, right? If she had a baby by you, don't matter who baby it was, judge going to tell you, say, you feed it enough, it's going to look just like your boy. But we have these attractions for each other, and we should not ignore this. It is our intelligence and our God-fearingness is to control these desires and not ignore them. You see what I'm saying? Control these desires. If that's what God brings you, he might bring you a woman and say, well, this is what I want you to have, to have a child by this woman. Like he did Abraham, he thought Sarah couldn't have a baby, right? He said, I'm a man of old age, and Sarah is a man. Sarah is a woman of old age. We cannot have children. And so she gave unto him this beautiful Egyptian woman, right?
Silly.
She said just woman, and they had a baby, right? Which is Abrahamic religion, right? Ishmael and Isaac. This is the Abrahamic religion, right? Islam, Christianity, pseudo-Jewish Christianity, right? Judaism, right? This is the branches of the Abrahamic religion. So now there was a purpose for all this for us to understand, and we ignore it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I can be silly. I am a silly person. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a practical realist. If I find you attract, like you showing that avatar, and we run up and you give me a smile and show
okay. Now, Ibrahim, stop right there. Now you're trying to get a date, brother. Hold on. Now you're trying to get a date. Hold on. We're gonna stop right there because you taking a turn, brother. You ain't even put no signal on. You taking a turn. Now you're trying to get a date. We ain't that's how we got here. That's how we got here. That's exactly how we got here. Let me go to Hicks. Hicks, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. let me just listen for a little while longer.
Okay, yes, sir. Absolutely. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, morning, bro. Morning.
Curtis, we're talking about the situation that we said we was going to talk about today, man, about the children and the well-being of the children. Now, two people get together and do adult activities, and then one get angry at the other for whatever reason, and they're no longer together. Don't that child have a right to still know both parents? Do you find it sometimes that the mother would hold the child as a pawn, as a bargaining chip? Do you also find that, because let me tell you what started. It started yesterday with they said that men need to stay in the home when they make a child. They need to stay with the woman, blah, and do the things that they need to do. Granted, I can accept that. That's absolutely true. But in some situations, do the woman push the man out of the home?
In some situations, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for us to try and say no, or try and negate that, I mean, that's not being realistic. You know what I mean? Like, in situations like this, you gotta hold both parties accountable for doing what they did and what they do. You know what I mean? Like, Okay. So what opinion do you want from me? What question should I be answering here?
Well, let's deal with the one where sometimes do the woman actually push the man out because of the way that she nags and she acts and she do different things to that man and push him out of the household? Is it really his fault that he left? Or is he just that weak that he couldn't deal with it? He couldn't deal with the pressure, and so he broke.
nothing to do with weakness, man. You know, when a man really loves a woman, if he walk away from a woman he really loves, I don't consider that to be weak.
Cause of nagging? What?
Because it takes a lot for a man to walk away from a woman he really in love with. You understand? It takes a lot for him to walk away. I mean, that means you done pushed him to the brink. Like you done mailed the envelope too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what a lot of people want to talk about, man. You know, how many people actually willing to admit that they messed up? Like, a lot of people not willing to admit that, and that's why you have these situations and these circumstances.
Doya?
Still writing in the chat. First of all, let me go ahead and come on screen because I ain't never scared.
Come on.
So the reason why I gotta do all that dressing up is because y'all ain't gonna take me like me. First and foremost, that's right. Get your eyes big because this is the problem. This is the truth. Y'all don't want me like this. Y'all want me to do all this dress up and don't mean you no good. Let's get really good. The ones who really love you, the ones who really good, the ones who really laid back, y'all don't even want. You want the exact opposite, what you can't have. And just like Donald just said, this broad that you don't listen. Your mama told you about the chick. The girl that really like you told you about the chick. Everybody done told you about the chick, but you didn't listen. And you went and did it anyway. So at the end of the day, it's still boiling down to a lot of the choices and decisions that my man, my head, my leader, I thank you, Jesus, for breaking all of that up and giving me a mind to lead on my own. Because following some of these fools will have me into a brick wall. We nagging for what? 9 times out of 10? Because you're not showing your real man skills. Because a real man ain't going to have it. You can notice a real man. You can smell a real man. And one thing about a real woman is when a real man up on the scene, we're going to bow down immediately. But let me tell you something about a real man now. They're not going to take no nagging because they did 9 times out of 10 and led and made their way. And everybody don't want to take the fact that they're not real men. Everybody don't want to eat that. Every daddy don't want to eat that. They not no good daddy. Oh, what you mean? I'm a womanizer, but I take good care of my kids. You a piece of... I ain't even gonna say it online because y'all got me in real woman form. Because it's always some... Men always got an issue and a this and a that. But you know what? The women do too. And we never sit down and talk about it. From day one, you didn't set your precedent as a man. You didn't care if she cooked or clean. You was too busy looking at her boobs on the cartoon.
Preach.
You was busy trying
to in the background.
Whatever she wanted to because you were just you so weak. Oh, but look how she look. Ooh, I can just imagine what it tastes like. And when it come time for you to start reaping the benefits of that flour, now all of a sudden, oh, woe is me. Oh, I'm caught. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, I can't get away from her. Whoa. I don't want to hear that with you soft and squishy cats. Some of these men need to grow some gahunas. Some gahunas. You need to get your car. You need to get your credit together. You need to get your house in a place to stay instead of looking at me talking about, oh, what's the matter? I'm broke. That don't mean I don't deserve love. No, you don't. You broke with kids? Come on. So that's for the ladies. We off-censored. If you know this joker broke, if you know he ain't got what you want, if he can't match your swag, what you laying with him for? You're just as raggedy as he is. Oh, my man ain't no good. He just stand in the third. Well, what that say for you then? Both sides. Let's go both ways. And people need to assume accountability. Stop. If you're going to lay down with that man and you knew he was sorry, ain't no need in nagging him. The boy didn't work when you laid up with him just to be laying up with a man. Just because you feel like, I'd rather have a piece of man than any man. As soon as you call me talking about, girl, you know this sorry. I listen. I don't do sorry, guys, and I'm not going to listen to your sorry conversations. Click. This is a twofold thing. You knew she was sorry before you married her. You knew he was sorry before you married him and laid down and swapped juices. You're going to have a bunch of little sorry kids, and don't nobody want to hear your little sorry complaining.
Lord,
How you really feel?
and again, why don't you just tell how you really feel? Why don't you just tell us how you really feel? Hold on. We got another call. Hold on, we got another call. Let me be respectful of everybody's time. Let me get to this next caller. Toy with a T.
I just want to ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to ask a question because I heard everything she said.
Okay, go ahead.
But I'm just still trying to get the answer out of that. Does that child deserve to have both parents in their life? Out of all that she just said, and all that bashing, and all the assumption, the box that she put that in, does that child still have the father in their life, even though that happened?
Joy, you want to respond to that?
Of course, it's a lot of kids that got a father in their life and their father molested them. Of course. And there's a lot of kids whose fathers weren't molesters, who weren't in their life, just like vice versa. It's to the individuals. The individuals have to be on a plane where they understand the importance of being there for their child. And 9 times out of 10, if they don't understand the relationship between the parents, they're not going to understand the relationship and wanting to be there for their child. So it just depends on who the individual is, whether they're good or bad. So because my father was a child molester and my mother didn't want to keep me from them, so it was good that my father was in my life, and I'm just using that as an example. I mean, I'm just saying. Wow. It's the individual. Wow. It's the individuals. The individuals. If someone's deemed not worthy, if you know that person is deemed unworthy to be around a child, and that's their father, then you got to do what you got to do best. But it shouldn't be because the father was nagging you or the mother was nagging you, and that's why you don't want them to be in your life. It should be a valid reason if there's not going to be there. That's what I'm saying.
Good. And I'm sitting here, I'm watching. We started out a certain way, and now we've to a point now where we got Ibrahim down there clapping for Toy. He wasn't doing it in the beginning. Now he clapping, he applauding, he doing it rah 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 and all kind of things. Let me go. We got to go to the caller. We got to go to Badger because we have Badger with us this morning as well. I definitely want to hear his input on this. But let's go to the phone line. I think we have Sherelle. Sherelle, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. What did I call in on? What did I call in on? Catch me up.
Yeah, look,
I haven't talked to y'all in a while, though. What did I call in on?
Hey, you picked a good day, sister. You picked a good day. We're talking about children. Actually, we talk about children, and it was said yesterday that men should, when they get with a young lady and they produce a child, that the man should stay there and raise that child. Blah blah blah. And I granted that, but I also said on the other side of the coin that a lot of time women will push a good man away because of the way that she acts and she treat him or mistreat him. So whose responsibility is it? And does that child, regardless of how the relationship went, does that child still have a right to know both parents?
Good Lord, you and these topics. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm saying like if you have a nagging husband or a nagging baby daddy or a nagging baby mama, that doesn't grant you a woman to say no, you can't be in a child's life because of that. Because you get on my nerves, you can't be in a child's life. That's just a negative for me. However, you do have women who drive men away. You do have men who drive women away. So I can kind of use my own situation as an example. Like, sometimes men only want you to listen. Simple, right? Let's hear them out and listen. However, it could be an instance where you're not listening to him, you're not listening, but to you, you might be. You know what I'm saying? And if he brings it up to you several times, that will drive him away from you. Now, if we have a child together, that does not warrant me saying, no, you can't be in your child's life because you leaving me alone because I chose not to listen. If that makes sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but now if it's a situation like she said where, dad is raping the kids or something like that, that is a situation where you are protected. That's when it comes to protecting your children. So no, I'm not going to have my child around you. I'm probably going to kill you. You see what I'm saying? You probably ain't going to live to even see your child anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I don't think like a nagging baby daddy or a nagging baby mama, I don't think that warrants anybody to say you can't be in a child's life. That's kind of negative. And if a child sees that, children pick up on things. So if a child sees a mom not loving their dad, and they don't even have to be together, but if a child sees that, they're going to pick up on that, and that's how they're going to learn. That's how they're going to do in the outside world. You know what I'm saying? So if they see you not getting along, they're not going to get along with their significant other in the outside world or whatever. So, I mean, that's kind of a hectic topic. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
That's a hectic topic, but I don't think a nagging man or a woman that grant, you know what I'm saying, you to say no, you can't be in a child's life.
So the child, so with you saying that, I'm taking from that you're saying that the child, regardless of the situation, the child still has a right to know the other parent.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm nagging him. My child doesn't deserve to know him. That's not even logical. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm nagging him. But then you have the women who will sit up here and because he left, oh no, now you're not gonna see your child because now you mad. Now it's personal. Now you mad. You have the women who will do that, and let's just say some men too. I haven't really experienced men doing that, but I've seen women do it. Like that's not a reason to keep a child.
Yeah.
From their parent at all.
Exactly. Let me go to Badger. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
And Badger, I already know what side you on already, brother. Before you even say one word, I already know what side you on. I know my folks, bro. I know my folks, but what's on your heart though?
Well, actually, the way you're asking the question, that one's is an interesting one. Because my father, because he didn't know how to help me or what was going on, actually sent me away to live with my sociopath mother. Because he couldn't deal with me. So essentially, because he didn't know what to do, and as far as he was concerned, I was just a troublemaker. You know, just send me to the abusive woman, you know. So that as I've gotten older, I've learned that there are different types of neglect and things of that nature. And it boils down to both sides. And because of the experience I've had, you know, being married to my amazing wife and knowing, you know, her story of her childhood with an extremely mentally abusive mother, and you know, her dad trying to fight and protect her and all that stuff pretty much from the age of 6 until she was 18, trying to get her away from that person. So there's cases on both sides. So this isn't just like male versus female stuff.
No.
There's toxic women, there's toxic males. And to be honest, I don't think a child should be with one of the parents if they're screwed up in the head.
Okay.
Because the things that child goes through don't always turn out to be someone that knows how to work on their problems. Some of them can turn out to be some really troubled human beings. So it's learning to accept that there are people that are lost on both sides. That are, I mean, the whole spectrum, molesters to control freaks to narcissists to sociopaths and so on and so on. So it's hard to say because every marriage is going to be different. So it's, you know, which is the better of the two evils? If both parents are abusive, or should they take them away and put them in foster care?
Wow.
So
let's pull some more people. Hold on for a second, Badger. Let's pull some more people in. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? You've been saying you wanted this. You've been saying
Yeah,
you've been telling me to
yeah,
come to you. You've been telling me to come to you. I'm here. What's going on with you?
Let me calm down, because here's the thing, and see, I feel for those that can't, for some reason that we all never can understand, why a parent would try to keep their child from the parent. I don't understand. The press of trying to make that happen is overwhelming. I don't. I've done everything that I possibly could to, even if that child was raised in the home, at any point in time, I made it my business to, as much as I possibly can, make sure that I was going to be a parent in some kind of way to that child. No matter what you say, you go ahead with your crazy self. I ain't studying that. That's my child. Even to the point where that's your child that was with us when we met. I'm going to do everything that I possibly can for that child, no matter what you say, period. Because the relationship, it has started, and it's going to continue from here on out. That's it. But I wanted to, with my little time that I'm around, bring another point out, to the point where he was no good, the conversation says, but you won't let go. What's up with that? And then, since you find out and said he wasn't worth a dime, and he's now, or she is now, with somebody else, you acting a plum fool. And all of a sudden your conversation is, but he was good to me. What? So what made him or her get to stepping? Maybe it's possible that she was acting a
donkey
with Cassandra.
Donkey. Yeah, let's just say donkey. Let's just say donkey for the sake of the conversation. Let's say donkey.
It was a word prior to donkey that I was going to say.
You were going to say the jackpot?
No.
Okay, we'll leave it right there, because ain't no telling what you about to say. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Just listening, like you say, the outcome and things like this. And I love to hear Toya talk, not so much because of how she says things, but because she's coming from the point of a woman who's recognized her mistakes, wanting to be right, and has changed her life to get that desired outcome. That's why I like hearing her talk. But this issue, men got to be men. And I don't know if it's because the change in parenting with one parent households that changed this dynamic. But if I'm going to be the leader, that's what I got to do. And like Toya was saying, I don't know why I'm so blessed to have the wife that I have, but it probably has something to do with the fact that I went to God and asked for her. Because all these things, I would hear people say things and we listen to other people. No, we don't even have that balance in this relationship, that dynamic. Because what no person has a right to do is to really treat others badly. And I don't care. I like what Donald said. You want to blame everybody. They want to blame it on the woman on why he can't see his children. But guess what? We have a whole court system that if you married, they're going to insist you see your children. If you're married, they're going to insist that you see your children. And if that woman don't comply, she's going to be in contempt. I tell you, you got men that say this ain't that. Well, what's your schedule for seeing your child? Oh, I go by there when I can. You think that's parenting? You really think that's parenting? I've sat in supervised visitation, okay? As the supervisor. So you can see your child. Because for whatever reason, it has been deemed that being with you ain't the safest place to be, alone. So even with that dynamic, there is something that is complicit on both sides that causes all this hostility. You don't expect a woman to be hostile because here you is laid up with her, talking about how much you love her and the baby, but then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you laid up with somebody else telling them the same lie. It's not about all these great men being denied access to their children. That is not the argument.
My thing is, and my issue is everybody. What I'm hearing, certain I'm not gonna say everybody, but certain people are actually putting all the onus on the man, and it ain't just his responsibility. You know, like it was said, like Toya keeps saying, it's on both sides.
So do you want to argue about whose responsibility it is or take responsibility?
Well, you have to take responsibility.
Okay.
But my thing is right here. Okay. Just like he have to take responsibility, don't she?
Okay. I was made first. Okay.
Wow. Go hold on, Toya. I see you over there, sis. Go ahead.
That part. The last thing he just said. Do you want to be a man or a woman?
No,
because if you got it,
no. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead, sis.
You the man of your household, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're trying to compare yourself to what your wife do, I don't think that's right. Because you are a man, you got different roles and responsibilities no matter what. And some women, we could try, but we're not going to be able to fulfill it. So, and this is just my opinion, and I believe I'm back believing in the structure. That's why I ain't forfeited myself to nobody yet. Because if I allow you to marry me,
let me ask you this question.
I'm giving my dominion over to you to trust you as the person who's going to make honest choices and decisions. And if I know that you weak and soft and squishy, then I can't go against that.
But let me say this. And wow, you take my thing is this right here. Is that the same responsibility or lack of responsibility as a woman that Eve had when she persuaded Adam to eat that apple? Are we saying that Adam was not are we saying hold on? Now, are we saying that Adam was not a man because of the fact that and he was out of position, he wasn't there, but at the same time, it's been debated whether he was there or not. It's been debated. But my thing is this right here. Are we saying that because you're saying that be a man? Well, yes, but also be a woman, because just like Adam was told not to eat that apple, Eve also was told that she's not supposed to partake of that apple as well. She did so. And then not only did she do so, she came along. So are you saying that Adam was not a man?
What I'm saying is he didn't play his role.
Wow.
So in nagging woman terms, we would be saying you ain't no man because you didn't do what you're supposed to. You the one that got us here. I'm the woman. In nagging woman terms, that's what I would leave out, because we still know that you're supposed to be the leader. Okay, let's use an example, right?
But
I'm gonna use this. Your daughter, you allowed your daughter to marry a man whom you feel is responsible, right? If you didn't feel that man was responsible, what would you have done to try to inform your daughter that probably was not the right choice?
Everything.
You'd have done everything, right? But that's what she wanted to do. That ain't your life. That'd have been what she wanted to do. Okay, then. So if he get with her and they go rob a bank, ain't you taught your daughter right? Don't your daughter know better than to rob a bank? So if she joined him and forces are going out and doing evil and wicked, he is still a leader, even though she assumed responsibility. He didn't make her do it. So she can allow religion to feel like, oh, well, I did it because my husband is the leader and this, that, and the third. No, it has nothing to do with it. They went off and did whatever wicked things they did, but you can't blame the man. But they both knew better. You know that he knew better, and you would be able to say, well, I don't know what happened to them and why they did that. So at the end of the day, they both had to share equal responsibility, even though they knew better.
But see, that's a little different what you just said. Now you're saying equal responsibility, but in the beginning you were saying, you know, the man, be the man, and that's why I say that it's supposed to be even in a marriage, it's supposed to be a joint effort. I gotta pull some more people. Toy, I love this thing. We can go back. Yeah, but Rico, talk to me, brother. What are you hearing? Because what I'm hearing, Rico, and you tell me if I'm wrong, all the responsibility is being placed in the man's lap, and the woman is really not having any responsibility on what she do or don't do.
Man, that's what I'm hearing, man. And we can only go back so many times and show where it's both people's responsibility. Thank you, Donald, for calling and saying what you know said. Sherelle, thank you for getting in and actually addressing the topic. You know, it's starting to look like we are answering the question on behalf of if the father deserves the right, and the mother has the right to deny him. And the question continues to be if the child deserves to have both parents.
Exactly.
So, okay. Obviously, if the child is born to a molester, rapist, or abuser, obviously, that child, you know, that parent doesn't have a right, and that is probably not good for that child to be around that man. But, you know, we was hearing some praise, I guess, you know, about the change people made in their lives to want better. Well, that 17-minute daddy might want better. So let me put myself in his shoes. Yeah, man, I just met after 17 minutes, man, and you know what I'm saying, something happened. But now, you know what I'm saying, she wants to try to have a relationship, but I see that, you know what I'm saying, she don't carry herself too well. Matter of fact, I found out that I wasn't the only one. We got to get a test. Well, I found out that the child is mine. So since I find out that I am the father of that child, I want to try my best to be the best father that I can be to give him some guidance and support that he needs. But then all of a sudden, I found out that she's this and that, he's this and that. Oh, well, y'all made a bad decision. Yeah, I did. I made a bad decision. 20 minutes. I mean, 20 minutes. I came back later on and you know, admitted that I made a mistake. Now I'm changing. Now I'm not that guy I used to be. But she wants to keep that child from me for whatever reason. Is that right? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's their situation, man, where children are actually wanting to be around good parents. Now, this is the thing right here. A father should always be the best father that he should be. A father should fight as hard as he can to be in his child's life. But a father shouldn't have to fight that hard to be a father. So that's where the problem is. If you are fighting that hard to be a father, maybe you made bad decisions. Maybe you was nasty. Maybe you made bad decisions. Maybe you made better decisions now. Oh, well, you made bad decisions. Well, oh, well, you should have did better in the past. You made that bad move. You chose her. You the one laid down with your little tallywhacker and this and that, this and that. Yeah, I did. But now I'm a better man. And this child needs me in his life. And guess what I got to do? I got to jump through loopholes and hoops to get to this child. And I see this child is struggling. But see, her pride don't want me to get to the child, because if I get to him, I might be able to take the child from him. And on top of that, she might be embarrassed, and then it might make her look like an unfit mother, when she's been telling everybody else that other people are to blame for the way she's living, because she throws somewhere, whatever the reason may be. That child is still losing. The child is still losing. So we could point the finger at what happened and what created the child. But once it gets to a situation where a positive father or positive parent is trying to come into the situation for the best benefit, and they're being denied that opportunity, that child is also being denied an opportunity at a better life too. So I want to thank Sherelle, because Sherelle came in and she hit it on the head. It's both sides. It's responsibility on both ends. You just can't point the finger at one side, and you just can't come up with one scenario and say this is what it is. Because this happens from some people that actually have been married for years.
Absolutely.
And somehow the other person got mad because they didn't continue to have their way, and the other person had to put their foot down.
508-924-3521, 924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input on what we're talking about today. Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You doing okay?
Come on, man.
Listen, let me outline what we talked about. When I talked about was the adulthood, right? We raise our children now to be children and not adults, right? And then we talk about the sociological responsibility people have towards their progeny, right? So, we combine all that together. The problem starts when it's how we view life, not how you raise necessarily, but how you view life and what the opinions of everybody is, right? Like the sister brought up a thing with her gorgeous avatar that she says she does not match. I think she's a gorgeous person, but anyway, we put all this together.
There you go, trying to get a date again, brother. Stick to the topic, brother.
No, I'm a married man. My wife is in the other room. She's probably listening to everything I'm saying, so I'm just being flirtatious. So anyway, it's a society issues, right? Now we say what a good man, a bad man is, right? It used to be if a man worked, he went out in the field or he worked for his family, he provided for his family, he could be the worst SOB, and he's bringing his family up. The children are able to have lives and be better than their parents, or be in a better condition than their parents. That's a good man. If a woman can sit down there and have healthy babies and attend to her babies, right? Because I come from a family that had 10, 14 kids, and the lady lived, down here, Big Ben from Georgia, right? And my mother had 6, 5 of, 4 of us lived, right? So, and me being, but I seen this love for her children, even though she did her thing. I seen this love for, my dad for his children. He did his thing, but we had a household. We had the things that we needed, and we were taught to be able to manipulate the things that we needed, to control the things we needed, and to do for ourselves too. That they raised a pretty, there was some wild folk, but they raised a pretty. My dad was a Rolling Stone, right? But he stayed home, right? And he kept us after my mother passed away. My mother used to like to go out and party. She was a debutante ball type of lady, right? But she stayed and made sure her kids were fed and they were healthy. Anything that happened, she was there for. But when she had her time, she went out there and just got, wild. You know what I'm saying? Did what she wanted to do. But still, we had a healthy home and a family between us. Now, when we bring other people in, oh, I didn't like Doris. She used to do all this all the time. She didn't really take care like I was supposed to be taking care of. Or your daddy, he got so many women, and it's called he own nightclubs and stuff like that. That don't make he got to go out there. You see what I'm saying? But us, we had a decent father. You had a good father. We found out later on he was the best father you could possibly have as a child that lose a mother, right? And we had a decent mother because everything that we learned and did, we responsible today because of her.
Good deal.
She taught us how to cook. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I'm saying that we let so much of life at this time get in control of us. How can you say a man no good because he's not he can't earn $1 million? He's not T.I. somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? How can you say that man is no good? He's a sorry man. The man get up and go to work. Even if he feel bad or he feels sick or something like that, or hurting in pain, he get up and go to work. You know what I mean? How you say that's a bad man?
Good deal. Hold on. Let's keep this thing. Hold on. Let's keep this thing going, Ibrahim. Hold on 1 second. Let me go to Curtis. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
My apologies. I had a crisis situation call last show. I had to check off. Where we at the conversation?
We still same situation, man. Does a child have the right to know both parents, and can that nagging woman run that good man away, or vice versa?
Well, in all reality, for us folks who are biblical, she ain't running them away. He's doing what he's supposed to do if he leaves. You understand? Proverbs 21:9 says, I'd rather sit on the corner of a tin roof than to dwell in the house with a cross and a nagging woman. Then it comes back to that again. I think it's 21:19. it says it in a whole nother way. But I mean, if we go with the biblical tells you that a woman ain't supposed to. She ain't supposed to be. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be creating, and it goes for women and men. Stop creating all these problems in y'all relationships.
Curtis, you there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm right here, bro. It was my thing was switching to my car. But this goes for women and men. This is the one thing I done learned these 50 years I've been on this planet. Stop creating problems in your relationships that have absolutely nothing to do with the relationship that you in. Oh, you're upset because this girl cheated on you and she went this direction. So now you viewing this new girl through the lens of the old girl. The new girl ain't got nothing to do with that. The new girl ain't got a doggone thing to do with that. Women, same way.
Yep, same for women.
He did this to me. He did that to me. He did this to me. He did that to me. How long do you think I'm going to sit there and listen to you tell me about what another man did? And I'm a man. You don't think that somewhere in there I'm going to say, you know what? This shorty, she's still in love with that dude, man.
Yeah.
She not going to never be. So we have, the time has come where, you know what? I hate to say it like this, Raheem, but people ain't got time to try and help you figure out your mess. People will make an investment in helping you sort through your mess, but people ain't got time to help you figure it out. You understand?
Yeah.
I thank God, bro, and I'm gonna end what I'm saying like this. I thank God, bro, that I did not marry, nor did I have kids by a feeble-minded woman. Because, bro, I'm gonna tell you truthfully, as a man, any woman, and even down to my wife now, she knows that man will go to jail about his children now. He'll go to jail about them. So if I try and make him keep him away from his kids, or try and make him decide between me and his kids, oh, he might hurt something, or he gonna be out.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Sherelle, what's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, I don't think that a woman or a man should put each other in a position to make you choose whether or not you're gonna be in your child's life or not. I think that's where the issue comes in. Like you putting people in a position to be evil, if that makes sense. So it goes on both ways. Like especially women do it the most. Like I said, we don't hear too much men really doing it, but I'm quite sure they're out there doing it. But I haven't heard too much. But like a woman telling a man that they can't see their child, you're creating an unharmonious relationship. That's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're creating a problem that's not even there to begin with. So I mean, to avoid, like, if we could be proactive and avoid stuff like that, but you know, we don't think like that. Women, I'm gonna say we, because I'm a woman, we don't think like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Some of us do, some of us don't. But to avoid problems, why would you put a man in a predicament like that? You know what I'm saying? You're putting him in a position to be evil. You're putting him in a position to get a reaction. So then when that reaction comes, then what? Now you want to call the law, right? Like you can't, like you just can't. We got to be more, I don't know, as a people, we got to be more proactive and less reactive in certain situations. Like a situation like that, you're putting people in a position like that. And however, if you're a man and you allow a woman to tell you that you can't, you know what I'm saying, see your child, then you might be part of the problem too. If you letting her tell you can't see something that you made, you know what I'm saying? Unless it is one of those situations where it's a rape situation or something like that, or they harming kids or something like that. But it goes both ways. Like both, it just goes both ways. You can't blame one. Of course, women, society made it to where the man is the problem. And I'm gonna just put that out there. It made it to where the man is the problem. The man is not 100% the problem.
Come on.
In these situations. It takes two to tango.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's her cash out? What's her cash out? I'm sending her some money. Give me your cash out. You just told the whole truth, and then nobody want to hear it from the beginning. I'm sending you some money.
Amen. Amen.
Hold on. Let her finish. Go ahead, Joelle. Go ahead. You get money coming to you.
It takes two to tango when it comes to stuff like that. In relationships, it takes two to tango. So it takes two people fighting for it to work.
Mm-hmm.
If one is doing 50%, the other one's not, it's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No matter how, it's life period. It's law of attraction. It takes two to tango with anything.
Mm-hmm.
All it takes is two. Start a business. All you need is two people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's society made it that way. So for us to put the blame on men when it comes to stuff like that, okay, granted, men play a part in the problem if they allow it. The only time a man really plays a part in something like this is if they allow it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
That's when they're part of the problem. When they allow stuff like this.
50.
However, we can't keep blaming men for stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We got another caller. Badge, I'm coming to you. I'm going to Rosalind. Rosalind, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, sis. I can't wait to hear your input on this one right here. What's on your heart, sis? I can't wait.
I've just been listening. I mean, it goes both ways. There are some good women out there. There are some bad women out there. There are some good men out there, and there are some bad men out there. And I think, I can't remember the lady name before me, but she made some very valid points. It takes two adults to come together to make it work. You just have to know who you're dealing with. And men, whatever you allow them to do, that's what they're going to do. Both ways. Women, whatever you allow them to do, that's what they're going to do. So it goes both ways. And, you know, I told y'all before, you know, my child father, he's not in her life. She talks to him periodically. I don't bash him. I don't talk bad about him. He doesn't support her financially or actually physically, like come see her or anything. But I mean, is it my fault? No, because I still have to do for her. I mean, that's what he chose to do. He chose not to be in her life. So it's not my fault. I mean, we're not perfect, but that's what he chose to do. So it kind of go both ways. It's not hard for two people to come together if they actually love each other and want to learn each other and grow. It's not hard. Women, we're not hard to please. It's not hard. Like sometimes I think men overthink it. I think they overthink it. It's not hard to please us.
Wow. Okay. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
And I was trying to avoid going there, but you know where I'm heading.
Go ahead.
So one of the things I'm hearing, you know, is throwing the Bible stuff out there. And it's interesting that a lot of this stems from the way a person believes in things. You know, either
or lack of belief in the thing.
Yeah. So a lot of people believe, you know, everything's on the man. My belief is it's equal. It's the same. Like if you uplift a woman and the woman uplifts you, things are amazing. If one of them are toxic, that person's the one that's responsible. Because as you know, I'm a matriarch. I take care of my house. I protect my house. My wife has final say. and I've been condemned for that by many people. And it's always seems to boil down to what is it that is in the person's mind. You know, when a person thinks that it's the other sex's responsibility to do certain things, and if they are not able to do those things or make mistakes, they're always the one to blame. So it just turns into a blaming game. Just as much as one side is guilty, the other one's probably guilty of things too. Like, am I supposed to be mad at my wife because she's having a hard time and didn't want to wash dishes today? So I'm having to wash them? Or she's wanting to go hang out with a friend or whatever? None of that has made sense to me. To me, part of having a relationship with something that is greater than us is also realizing that we have flaws too. And the best we can do, as long as we're doing the best we can on both sides,
come on,
and be open. That's what communication is for. I've compromised things for my wife, and she's compromised things for me because of the things that, you know, the way my brain works. So it's, are you going to be stuck in a mentality of an expectation and not be open-minded? I'm not a rich man, but I'm excellent with money. I make sure everything's taken care of. But you know, I can't say there have been women I've been with that are like, you're really smart and all this other stuff, but you're not big enough, so I'm gonna go find somebody else, or whatever reason they want to. So like, I've heard and experienced a lot of things when it comes from what I've seen women do to men and what I've seen men do to women.
Good deal. Let's because there's a lot of different layers on this thing, man, and I want to go to right now. Let me go, Rico. What's on your heart, brother? Toussaint, coming to you next.
Man. Oh man, I mean, you know, I'm listening, man, and you know, I'm some of this stuff I ain't getting nothing out of it, but some of it I am. You know, and it's good that, like I said, it's good Sherelle called in because she broke it down completely what it is. You know, there are some bad guys out there. You know, but regardless of what created the situation, once the child is here, then the child has rights to the best opportunity at the best life possible. Now, life throws some curveballs at you sometimes. You know, you could be happily married to somebody and y'all just riding down the road and somebody texting and driving, run a red light and T-bone you, hit your wife on the passenger side, and now she hurt very bad and she got to take painkillers from now on. Or your husband that you just picked up from work and he didn't want to drive because he's tired. Now they hooked on them painkillers. Now you try to support them as long as you can, because through thick and thin, when you took them vows, you made a vow to make sure you was going to be there for them. But now they bad. They sneaking out the house, they stealing stuff, they pawning stuff, and they screwing for drugs. And you got to leave. Now you got the children. That might be a good reason for you to not let that woman or that man come around them children and see them like that and expose them to certain situations. You know what? I know some women that got pimped by their own mamas for crack.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So there is some situations. There are situations where it's good for the child to be kept away from the parent, because life can throw you some curveballs, and you know what? It might be my fault that I married that good woman and she had that car accident and got hooked on them painkillers. Bad me. You know, it ain't all just based down and we made bad choices. Sometimes the shoe was on the other foot. Maybe you were the one in the accident and you got hooked on the drugs and you struggling. And she said, you know what? I'm out of here.
I can't deal with it.
I'm taking the kid with my baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna leave me? I thought you was gonna be here for me. You see, I'm paralyzed from the waist down.
Mm-hmm.
I need some help. I didn't sign up for this.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So, you know, now she keeping the children from you. What them kids don't want to come over there. They gotta do that. They can't do nothing but sit up in the house and play games. What, you can't go out there and play catch with them. What you gonna go do? Run with them? Nasty women. That could be that situation. Could be, may not be. That ain't gonna be every situation, but in these situations, you know what I'm saying, the child is the one that that you have to look after.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Parents have rights, but to me, the child is the biggest issue of this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of what the people did to create this life, you know what I'm saying, the best benefit of the child is what has to be thought about, whether the parents are fit or unfit. Is it fair for somebody to try to keep them from the other?
And that was my point throughout the beginning of this conversation. I kept going right back to the child. Do the child have the right? Because we could talk about the whole relationship situation, but when we start talking about the relationship situation, we're actually pulling away from the content, the intent of this conversation being the children. And so the relationship is good. You know, we could talk about that, but at the same time, the intent is the children. Do they have the right to be with both parents or to love and to have both parents? We got Captain with us this morning. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, my brothers. Hi, everybody.
Hey, doing good. We're talking about relationship and children. And in a relationship, two people get together and they indulge the activity, they produce a child. And I'm changing the question up a little bit. Don't that child have a right to know both parents? Or do you find that sometimes a mother, a woman, could use that child as a pawn, or just run a good man away? I'm trying to clarify it, make it more. Not that I need to simplify it for you, but I'm just trying to do it right there for our listeners.
Raheem, they call it parental alienation.
There you go.
Alienating the child from the other parent.
Good deal. Yeah, absolutely. So, Captain, what do you say to that, man? First of all, can a nagging woman run a good man away?
Well, the sad part about what you just asked, and I'm sure everybody on this line had pretty much experienced it themselves personally, or know someone who have experienced it personally, that no question that women allow their personal emotions of a relationship that have gone sour to interfere in a child who has nothing to do with that at all. There's no such thing to a child of a no good father. Children, they don't see that. No matter how the mother trying to paint the father in a negative light, to that child, there's no such thing as a no good daddy. The sad part about that is, yes, when women get involved and she catch a man cheating or whatever the reason, they use the child, not all, but most time, as a pawn to punish that man, especially when that man wants to be involved in that child's life. And she used that, and that's what causes a lot of domestic violence. That becomes the number one reason that you heard on the news the other day. It was all on social media. Y'all, I don't know if y'all talked about it already, but it was about this man that came and fed his child when that child had stepbrothers and sisters and staying with his ex-girlfriend. So he brought food for his child, but he didn't bring no food for the other children. That was all on social media a couple of days ago. You know, the question is that fair? That man, he get an opportunity to spend time with his child. That's what he wants. If you're any kind of man, you want to spend time with the children. You can produce a hatred so strong for the mother that you want to commit some acts of violence on her. And then after the child, has certain issues down the road, he may get a little older, and that child begin to rebel on that mother. That child get old enough to hate the mother down the road for standing in the way for them knowing their father. So I kind of feel, brother, on that question is that everybody know that women have used that And you can't run a good man away. Not a good man. He can use it and say, all right, I ain't gonna be in that child's life. Now remember, I told you, brother, that a man sit there. This is what started the Peacekeepers in New Orleans about 12 years ago. A man took a box cutter, and cut the throat of his 3-year-old son because he did not want to pay the mama child support.
Wow.
I'd rather kill this boy. Damn it. Before I give you any money. What kind of sickness is that? A box cutter. So when it comes to the mother and the child, it has various levels of physical abuse, mental abuse, and physical abuse. So we really, it is an issue that must be addressed, because ain't no man gonna get in no relationship today with a woman and she don't have no children. I'm telling you, it's kind of hard to find a sister that ain't got no babies.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to know how to deal with that. And at the same time, when you have a child, you got to be able to deal
I'm
with,
a unicorn.
you know, go, I hear you, girl, I hear you. But I think that's my, I don't know if I answered it, but that's my statement.
Exactly. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm just listening. I love the way Captain Dennis put it, and about a good man and this, that, and the other. And my experience has always been that where the man is always falling short. And so when we counsel young men, and first thing I ask them, okay, so you really want to spend time with your child? Let's go get custody. Well, no, you wanted your child. So if you want custody, I will help you go get custody of your child.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute now. You
Oh no, I don't think I want. No, so some of y'all just want to drop by every now and then when it's convenient.
You say custody? You say custody?
Exactly. You say custody. Oh, you may turn around and he might not be there no more.
Man, hold on.
Okay.
Man. This man tripping. He talking about custody. I just want to see him every now and then.
And so, it ain't about me if we're working on a problem in the community. See, because if you love your community, you will want your community to go on the right path. Really, if you love your community. Now, I'm like the sister was saying, I'm that type of dad. You take my kids away from you, you just put yourself in danger. Period. Period. You just put yourself in danger, because those are my children as well. And not so that men need to learn how to secure their relationships.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't even have a problem with not seeing your child had you been married to the mother.
Not everybody want to get married though, Leonard.
Exactly. And that's cool.
Yeah.
But do understand, that's how you wound up this way.
I can see
when you
that.
went away from the right path. And now you have to come up with a bypass road to get to where you're going.
And it's amazing to say not everybody want to be married. When I've been married for 25 years, man,
Thank you.
I've been married and love my wife dearly, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
We do that.
So
if people desire these types of relationships, you're gonna have to do better. Because one, you said she nagging, but look what you did to her. But look what you did to her.
But see, again, I want to pull everybody into the conversation. But again, like I said, we got to concentrate on both sides. We can't just concentrate on
very
one
rarely
side.
have I sat in a courtroom where a great dad didn't get the right to see his children.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because he had all the evidence. He has all the evidence of being a great guy. He has a good job. He's able to take care of the child. The child wouldn't be in any danger. A judge will tear a mother to pieces. To refuse that man seeing his child, especially if there's child support involved.
Exactly.
See, there's rules to this thing. And one, we'll say, see, long as you only hear one side of the story, you really lose how you going to really help and get to your desired outcome. If your desired outcome is to get a family to stay together, or I've worked with families, tried to prevent them from taking the child out of the home or the children out of the home, or reuniting the children with their parents. Even those mothers who get their children taken away from them have to take responsibility for their actions, regardless of whether the dad is in their life or not. If she want her children back, There are things she has to do to prove herself.
Good deal. Good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Asking the question, and right now I'm asking the question just like this: can a nagging woman run a good man away? Let me go to hold on, Tucson, what's on your heart? I see you, Ibrahim. I see you, brother. Tucson, what's on your heart?
I don't know whether sometimes it just makes me feel like sometimes it makes me kind of wonder whether
oh Lord.
there are any, you know, that the old saying, there are no more good men. The devil is a liar.
Yes, he is. You better say it, Tucson.
So here's the deal. You ever seen, I don't know, maybe nobody has, but I have seen a man, woman, angry woman.
Tucson, you're a little bit low, brother.
Well, let me get off of this thing.
There you go.
Had you ever seen, I don't know if nobody else has seen a mad or angry woman that has been influenced by friends or loved ones. That no matter what you do, you go to work every morning. You do this. You try to the bills be paid, and she's beautiful. You love her to death, but she can't keep her mouth shut, and she can't get them nagging relatives out of your business. You do whatever you can for years and years and years. You do whatever you possibly can till that one day that you decide, now you're going to probably get rebuked in the name of Jesus. But when a man or a woman have said, I got enough, and I'm not going to take no more.
Enough is enough.
Deal about that. You see, you can't say that to the children, but you can say that to the parent, the other parent. And it happens all the time. Good people break up. Two good people. I'm not talking about like my mama used to call wenches. And I can't say what she used to call the men that wasn't worth the time. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about two good people that break up. Everything's not cookie cutter. Everything don't fit. You can't put it. So when you get a mad woman, and then all of a sudden it breaks up, and she finds out that in her anger, she and her family and her friends. Let me use this for example. I know I'm out of time almost anyway. If I ain't, I saw your car. I quote, I saw your car. No. Somebody told me they saw your car at the hospital. Okay. Now it is 8:30 in the morning. You know that I go to work at 6. Now we having this conversation. We've had this conversation before. Matter of fact, this is about the 4th or 5th time we've had this conversation. And you and your friends come get your stuff out of my house. And you get to step in. Now, how you think that gonna work out? Now, when that comes to play, she decides, oh, I done went too far. I'm losing a good man. Well, you might not be done, but he is.
Good deal.
Now you find out that Becky, I'm sorry, I'm out of time.
Becky got her suitcase at the door. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Friday, you there? Friday, we can see you, but we can't hear nothing you're saying, sis. Can't hear nothing you're saying. Something going on with your volume. I see you hiding the happy elephant lady and porcupine proud because you're smiling over there real big, but we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Go out and come back in, and we'll try to get you back in there. Ibrahim, talk to me, brother.
Yes, sir. You know, I like the part where we hear these real life issues, right? And I know Leonard is a man of he's seen a lot of things in his professional ability, but unbeknownst to what the actual inner workings of a relationship is. You know, you can have hostile relationship. I was married to I've had 3, you can say, marriages. One was by common law. It's my son, one of my sons. The second one was with a woman I was with 18 years. She had 3 kids when I married her, and we had a daughter together.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a very attractive woman. She was very dark skinned, and she was very petite. But she had a mouth on her. You think she was an 800-pound gorilla in the room when she stepped out, whether it be in public or private. She let you know her. You know, she does exactly what was on her mind, and nothing else. And she would and it turned to be toxic after a while. Now I wasn't the best of husbands, right? You know, I had several affairs during our marriage. You know, but we stayed together because of all the bonds we had. Her son. A couple of her sons still see me as their only daddy they knew, right? And one of the sons, we bonded real good, right? And I have a daughter who can't stand me, you know, want to be around me, right? But that's life. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of things kept us together. I love to travel, she loved to travel, and a lot of other things. But a lot of things pull us apart. And outside opinions and TV, you know, Mari and all them will tear a couple apart in a heartbeat. As soon as you do something suspicious, they say, girl, you better watch out for him. He hiding his phone. You know, like this is. And you might just, you know, just to keep people calling, you might just lay it down, turn it aside, just push it aside. Or turn it off, right? Why you turning off your phone? You know what I'm saying? And that gets to be a toxic relationship. You cannot recover from a relationship like that. You know what I mean? And you can be open. You can be open. You can't be too open. And I think that outside toxicity and what people see, they see this petite little woman, you know, they got 4 healthy kids, and they see this big old 250-pound man that stay going all the time in his job, you know, bring everything he need home to the family, right? And guess whose side they gonna look at? You know what I mean? Even if she come up to me and start beating on me and hit me, and I push her away and she fall down, guess who's going to be the abuser? So, you know, I understand that the court had nothing to do with actual individual relationship. It is an opinion. It is common. It is common law. It is an idea, concept, judge-made law. And it has nothing to do with actual relationships where it be toxic otherwise. And putting parents together, now I could be a decent man, but I could not be a parent that you want a child to be with, but, you know, just you and her. Or I might go to another marriage and that wife or that girlfriend say, hell no. You know, so there's a lot of things come in a situation like this here. So life is life. That's all I got to say. Everybody made some very valid points. I love everybody, what they said. You know what I mean? But I cannot blame my ex for anything.
Good deal.
Even though she blamed me and my current wife, you know, we have problems, but you know, I'm just as much responsible as she is, right? So we either work it through.
Stay right there, brother.
Right.
Stay right there. Yes, sir.
I want to clear something up.
Okay.
That is not what I do professionally. The way I learned all these things is by wanting to be involved and help Black families, wherever I could. So I volunteered all my time to learning and being in those spaces with those people, to try to learn more to help other Black families. That's what I volunteer to do. I've done it for over 20 years. So that's not what my profession is. It's because I have a concern for families and children, trying to find a second chance, trying to correct issues, solve problems, to rebuild African-American families.
Wow, that's good. That's good. And Ibrahim, you know good and well, I can't come right back to you, brother, after you just got finished talking. So you put your little hand down. Put your little hand down. We got to keep this thing going. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, that was oh man, look, this is what I'm thinking about. Two good parents, right? A good parent does not keep a child from another good parent. Plain and simple. If a bad parent is keeping a good parent away from their child, regardless of how that interaction happened and they came into this world, it's wrong. If it's a bad parent, it's understandable, plain and simple. That probably should be the end of that conversation for real. But now, we do know that women have rights. They have rights to their bodies, and they have a right to do with their embryos and babies, fetuses, as they please. And then after that child is born, that child also has a right to be taken care of by those parents. So I'm sort of flipping it a little bit, because we keep thinking about the fact that one parent might be keeping the child from the other, and they call that parental alienation. That's wrong. Completely wrong. It's dysfunctional. But no parent has the right to neglect a child. So now we talk about the good parents again. See, we was talking about the dads that give up and say, well, you know what? She don't want me to see him. Man, when the last time you seen your son? When the last time you talked to your daughter? Man, I ain't talked to her in how long? Why you ain't talk to her, man? She don't want me to see him, so I just let her have it. Screw it. No, fight.
Exactly.
Fight.
Exactly.
That's what a good parent would do. That's what I'm doing. But I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to go broke. I shouldn't have to get it extorted throughout the family court system to be a father because of a scorned woman that's taking advantage of all the different access, all the different tactics and tools in place to get a woman some justice. She don't deserve no justice against me, though. Then on top of it, she ain't contempt. You fight, you go through the court system. And if she don't abide, they'll put her in contempt. Now what?
Wow.
I didn't even have to go through that. So what it still boils down to is a man need to be a man, and a man need to fight, and a man need to do it. Yeah, we do. And still, you still got an opponent on the other side
fighting against
that has things that you use legally that keeps her moving and doing what she's doing. So I mean, you know, that's what the situation is. But I was thinking about the fact that sometimes parents have these children after they decide to keep the baby, and then they both neglect that child.
Exactly.
Those parents don't have the right. Once again, those parents, not only do they have the right to not keep that child from that other parent, but they have no right to keep themselves from that child once they brought them into this world.
Exactly.
So once again, I'm trying my best to bring it back to the point of view of the children having a right and the parents' responsibilities, without just pointing the fingers at one side or the other. Because sometimes both parents neglect the children and run off and do their own thing and live their best life. A lot of times just dealing with what they're dealing with.
Exactly.
Hey.
Hold on one second. 508 excuse me, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Got a few people been holding on for a minute. I got somebody from the 470 area code. 470, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Cassandra.
Atlanta. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, we asking a question. We're talking about children, parenting. Two consenting adults get together and they produce a child. Now, do that child have the right to know both parents? Or can sometimes the mother play pawn with the child? And the second part of the question is, can a nagging woman run a good man away? Answer either one of them you want.
Okay. I think the first one, because I deal a lot with that, seeing children come here and one or both of the parents are not good, for the child. And unfortunately, working with the foster care system, it is one of the saddest things you will ever want to see these children that have been displaced because of parents' irresponsibility. You know, I do night shifts, so I got off this morning, and you know, these kids are traumatized. When I tell you, and I'm working with teenage girls, and man, it's heartbreaking because, you know, you hear them crying out. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're miserable. You know, and it's all because of bad parenting. You know, that's why some people don't need to be parents. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't care. It's some children, no. No. And then you put them when they get here, they're in these foster care programs and they're being molested and all this other stuff because of bad parenting. People that wanted to lay down but didn't want to step up. What the hell? So I'm seeing this now. I'm sorry. I'm seeing this now. You know, I've been doing it, but now I'm back doing it. Man, it is so heart-wrenching seeing these girls, man, these children. I mean, boys are girls, but I'm working with girls, teen girls right now. It is so sad.
Wow. Now
they're traumatized.
Now let me ask you the second part.
Can I ask Cassandra something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cassandra, with what you were witnessing and seeing what those children are going through, after finding out how they got there, does that matter?
I don't, in which way, Rico?
Well, whether they were born out of two people just having fun, or whether they were out of parents that two parents got strung out on drugs, just young and responsible sex. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, during this broadcast, there's been a lot of finger pointing, but still, even though you point the finger at people's behavior that created this situation, the child is here now, and that what got them here doesn't matter anymore. So I'm asking, do you see from what they're going through? Is that the biggest issue? The fact that, well, your parents were whores, your parents was irresponsible.
Yeah, no, it's a child. It's at this point, it's trying to save the child. That's our focus, you know, in the program. It's trying to save the child, and the program I'm in, it's a behavioral program. So these kids are showing out. They're gang banging, they stealing, they prostituting, they, you know, all of this stuff. And now it's about saving the child. I don't give a darn what the parents did. We're focusing right now on trying to rescue this child out of this situation.
That's good.
And the trauma that they've been through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got, let me see, I think we got Friday with us. Friday, you on the phone line with us?
Hi, Gary.
Hey, how you doing this morning? Friday, what you've been listening to the conversation. What's on your heart, man? First of all, I'm asking the question: can a nagging woman push a good man out the house?
Out the house and to the roof? That's what the word say anyway. So I have no other way but to believe that it's true. They say that a dripping faucet is better than a contentious and a nagging, you know, woman in the house. Put a man on the roof. So if you put him on the roof, you can definitely drive him out the house much further away. And I mean, just in general, you know, if there's no substance behind, no purpose in what you're trying to get, it's one thing to be nagging, to convey something that's very important to them, not just you thinking it's important, but actually important to them. Maybe they're slow to, you know, scout for benefits, or I don't know, or slow to do something. You really see that potential in them. But there's a way to do it to encourage them that doesn't come off as nagging so much, but they may consider it such because you're always bringing it up. And then there's nagging. They can't do right. They can't breathe right. You just constantly something amiss or a problem. And that'll run anybody way, but it's especially run a man way because they already got to deal with what they got to deal with. The last thing they need is a woman just to be nagging, and going on and not giving any type of encouragement, support, or uplift of any kind. You just angry and mad to be angry and mad. That'll definitely run somebody away.
Exactly. And if she look at you from across the room, and we got another caller just calling, we'll go to Captain for a second. Captain, if she look at you from across the room and she asked you the question sincerely, why do you keep doing that? And it kind of baffled you a little bit. You're like, what? Doing what? And she looked at you. She said, why do you keep breathing? We might have a problem. You might have a problem, Captain.
Wow, now why you keep breathing while she have a real deep hatred. I don't know what that man done to her that she want him to stop breathing.
Mm-hmm.
But we talking about the child who gets caught up in the web of two grown individuals who do not know how to relate to each other emotionally to the degree where they don't even know the damage they're doing to the child.
Yes, absolutely.
They have no clue. I mean, all of us come up in homes where there's certain things we've seen of our parents that really psychologically messed with us,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they understood that it psychologically messed with us. But, we talked about you can't run a good man away. I mean, if my wife or my ex would tell me I couldn't see my child, I'm like what Rico said and the rest of them, man. I mean, well, you can say what you want, but I'm gonna be there every day.
Mm-hmm.
I got to catch him in school. I got to go to school and see him. But a good man is not gonna give up.
Yeah,
he just ain't gonna give up. Now, a brother who really don't want to take care of his child, that's a good excuse. Like they said, like everybody said on there, I don't know who said it, but he said, yeah, well, all right, she won't let me see him. And that's the end of that. And then, but I think it was Brother Rico. And then he said, hey, when the last time you seen your daughter, your son? Well, I can't say the mama won't love. That is ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous that you don't see your child over years. Now, I ain't talking about no months. Over years.
Mm-hmm.
And so the child, when the child gets to a certain age, they're going to wonder, where you at, Pops?
Yeah, exactly.
They ain't going to go with that. Well, your mama, she didn't want me. They're not feeling that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the most important part is, I think the professor said it, I mean, the relationship is how it begins, how it ends. We're not talking about a sound relationship. There's got to be mutual respect and love even before you start making love, as they call it, making love.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't got no real sincere respect for the woman, waver if you don't have her as your friend. If she's your friend in the beginning, and I think that's what relationships really are solid when, you meet somebody, y'all friends, and then friends turn into a romantic relationship. And I think once you become a friend and you turn into you don't disrespect each other to the degree where, she would push you away or you would get ghost or you would violate that woman. So I think, we have to begin to look at the beginning of the male and female relationship, which is so crucial. Yes. I heard that Sister Sharada Ali, her words, and I always remember she says, the black man and woman, we don't have no problem with each other when we laying down. It's when we get up. And I thought that was deep. We have no problem having sex laying down. We cool with that. But when it's over and we get up, now there's a problem. So I think that's relationship has to be built with mutual respect and friendship so that the child can be secure in a home and that child can grow up and be developed to be a wonderful human being that can contribute to changing the environment of our community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Toya, you want to talk to me? Okay, Toya, want to talk to me? Let I come to you next. Toya, you want to see what's on your heart? Got another caller. We're going to go to the caller as well. Caller, I know you're there. Toya?
Hey.
Toya? I think Toya having some issues with her feed. She's actually on the video side here, so I think she's having some issues with her feed. So we're going to go to we got Pete. Good morning, Pete. How you doing this morning? Brother Pete.
Just doing good this morning. DKM Radio, panelists and audience, family, Morning Glow. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing good, doing good. We're talking about having a conversation based on children and rather a mother sometimes use children as a pawn against the father And can a nagging woman run a good man away? Pete, what do you say to that?
Yes, and that run a good man away. We,
talking to your phone,
universally, universally,
mm-hmm.
we just have a lot of immaturity. We have a lot of people who haven't seen, don't know, have no concept of what a union is in marriage. And certainly if you're not married and you're having children, you're already imbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just opening the door for chaos. You really have to have some stuff down in you, some experience, knowledge, wisdom, some comprehension, some inner understanding to be able to make that work. Okay. And again, when we apply that to us, again, we break it down always. I try to, the melanated folk, we have been developed through systematic application to grow up and develop imbalanced on purpose. So many of us are just imbalanced in our personal development, and
mm-hmm.
we get well off into our 50s before we start realizing these imbalances. So, as a good woman can make a good man weary. I'll say that,
mm-hmm.
and make him weary. But I agree with my elder brother. If you are a man that is founded in the fortitude of being a man, a full male man, not just a male, but a man, and the concept of what it is to take on responsibilities and duties, to be able to stand against and stand up and stand within and, stand regardless of, right? And take care of the responsibilities of a man that has created a living being.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going nowhere, brother.
Come on, man.
You ain't going nowhere.
You
it's your being of who you are
mm-hmm.
to be there and handle that responsibility. That's part of what you are created as a living flesh and blood sentient being.
Come
mm-hmm.
on, man.
Good luck with that, because he ain't going nowhere unless
mm-hmm.
his transition comes. He
mm-hmm.
still is the man standing there exemplifying his being.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good. Bishop, good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm blessed, my brother. How are you doing?
Hey, doing
How's
good.
everyone doing, Bishop?
Hey, doing good. I know you've been listening for a minute, brother. What's on your heart?
Well, listening to the fact about being, a parent, or the issues dealing with these baby mamas or wives or whatever the case may be, and I listen to the question that you asked to Pete. And Proverbs says it's better to be in the corner of a housetop than in a wide open space with a brawling woman.
Mm.
Can women run men off? They sure can. But when it comes down to dealing with his children, he's going to be there for his children in spite of the damaged relationship that he may have with his woman,
mm-hmm.
or the children's mother. So I don't think I can say it any better than what Pete said or what someone else said. When it comes down to being a good father or a responsible father in spite of the circumstance with the woman, you're going to be there no matter what, doing what you need to do. So,
mm-hmm.
so that's what I have to say about that.
Good deal. Good deal. Rosalind, what's on your heart, sis?
I'm just listening. Okay, so if you really want to piss me off, don't refer me to me as being a baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stand that. I don't carry myself as a baby mama. I
mm-hmm.
carry myself as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So when people tend to say that about me, I get upset and I explain to them. Because a baby mama to me is a nagger. She's someone that does not care for her child or doesn't care about the well-being of her child. That's just my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some nagging women, a lot of them, and they don't know how to be women as well. So that's why they're nagging. And they will run good men away. They will. I had a friend, she had a good man, and she ran him off with her nagging.
Mm-hmm.
And because men, okay, especially it's hot as you know what I hear.
Yeah.
Imagine a man working in the heat all day long and come home. The only thing he wants probably is a bath or something to eat and go to bed. He don't want to hear nagging.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to hear, oh, I saw you down. He don't want to hear that. He's providing for you. So
mm-hmm.
why should you nag? That's you're gonna run off a good man.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, then they're gonna come over here to Rosalind because Rosalind is gonna Rosalind is gonna support him. Rosalind's not gonna be a nagger. Rosalind is gonna be a woman. So I'm just saying.
Look
But
at now.
anyway,
Rico,
with the child
Rico, I'm about to do my
father.
Hey Rico, I'm about to do my dating show.
Address is phone number and map. Don't be putting it out there like that. We gonna need an address. We gonna need a phone number.
I'm going no. I'm about to do my dating show again, cause Rosalind and then all these folks. I'm about to do the dating show again. Bring y'all folks together and man, cause look at.
I'm saying seriously, because there are a lot of nagging women out there. I just feel like they don't have anything to do. Like they're bored or something. So they'd rather just nag the man and get him up out of character and, just do all that crazy stuff.
Wow.
But to move on to whatever, but even with my child's father, right? And he tell people all the time, I haven't seen my child. It was like, why? She won't let me see him. Well, you need to hear my side of the story. Because it's always two sides. That's just my opinion. There's always two sides. I'll never forget on my birthday, me and him had the party split up or whatever. On my birthday, I was at work. All the utilities was in his name. He turned off. He called the power company. He called the light. He called a gas company, the water company. He turned off all the utilities.
Good Lord.
On my birthday. In the wintertime, his daughter was 3. So just so happened, my mom stopped by. She was like, "Did you pay your power bill?" I was like, "Yeah." And I called him, and they was like, "Well, he disconnected, the power, whatever." That didn't bother me. We got everything back on. The only thing that I couldn't get back on, Raheem, was the cable. My daughter loved cartoons. She cried all night because she could not watch cartoons. I literally went in the bathroom and had to separate from her and cry because he didn't hurt me. He hurt her.
Yeah.
Because she could not watch cartoons. So I feel like if you didn't care about the well-being of your child then, you can't care about the well-being of her now. So no, I don't allow him to see her. He can see her, but it won't be by himself. I will have to be there. She's never spent the night with him or anything. And he haven't seen her in 3 years. He could come see her, but he won't see her by himself. So there's always two sides to every story. You have to get both sides. When you run into a guy and they be like, "Hey," I'm not saying that's everybody's story, but it's always two sides because he's very manipulative and he can have you thinking that it's me, but it's not me, it's you.
Now, see, when I came to you, she said, "I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just listening." And you gave us a lot. You said, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just listening, Raheem. But hold on, before you go on, let me go ahead. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Curtis, you there?
I really don't have too much, man. I mean,
Curtis, if the man quote unquote allow the woman nagging, always get on his nerves, always on his bad side to push him away, does that mean that man is weak?
Say that again.
If the man allowed the woman to push him out of the relationship and go his own way and leave the family, her nagging and all the things that she do pushes him out that door, is that to a certain degree saying that he's a weak man because he's not able to stand in there and endure?
No, because ain't nobody, listen, man, just because we men, that don't mean we got to deal with y'all BS. Just like y'all deal with ours. You know what I mean? When a woman feel like she getting too much BS, guess what's going to happen? She going her way. You can kick rocks. I say, I see you when I see you. No, we're not going to set that double standard. No. Just like she can walk away, so can he. Just like women are abused, there are men who are emotionally abused. I know from personal experience. So when he stands up and speak up for himself, now you're saying in one breath that you want this strong dude, but then when he be strong, you're saying he's too strong. What do you want? It's the same with if you're saying you want a outgoing female to speak her mind, is that a dirt, and then when she speak her mind, all of a sudden there's something wrong because it don't tie in to exactly what you want. You dead wrong.
Wow.
My opinion, gotta go, brother, because I gotta zoom me.
Okay.
My opinion is this. Black folk need to get out their own way. People stopping us from having successful relationships and having successful co-parenting.
Yeah.
Us. Because we can't get out our own way.
Wow.
And it's a thing.
508.
Now,
Go ahead, Kurt.
And I'm gonna be happy the rest of the day.
Good
I
deal.
love you.
Hey, love you too, brother. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, dude. I'm just, you know what I mean, man. I'm trying to like just stay chill and calm about it. There's a lot to me when it comes to the what's good for children, the relationships, dynamic and things like that. Because, you know, as a child, you know, I was stuck between two, you know, one parent that honestly didn't know what to do with me or how to help me or anything like that. And then another parent who was an absolute nut and still is. And, you know, I was in foster care for a short time, and where I was at in foster care, I would rather have been with the nut. This foster care system where I was at sucked. It was pretty bad. So it's since I've gotten to experience three different sides, you know, the bad mother, the father that doesn't know what to do. So in a lot of ways, it was neglect without even realizing he was being neglectful. And then also being part of the foster system. And it's one of the things I learned in the foster system is being adopted is age dependent. Most people don't want a child that has to deal with issues. And there are different perspectives to this topic because speaking from my experience and how I was brought up, you know, a good parent will fight to be able to see that child. No matter what. They will fight and fight, go broke fighting to be able to see and take care of that child, flat out. And if the person isn't doing that, that's when I start questioning things.
Exactly. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Love to hear your input. Toya with a T, talk to me, sis. Toya, I think you're still having some issues with your line over there, Toya. I think you're still having some issues. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I agree with Badger. You know, when a person stopped doing those things, I start questioning things too. And sometimes in the process of questioning those things, I find out that they expended themselves. They went broke. They went broke trying to be a good dad. Because guess what you got to do sometimes? You got to go find how to serve this person. You know, sometimes people duck and dodge and hide from you when they are worried that you might come take them children. Because not only are they keeping the child from you, but really and truly, if you knew what was going on and you got them in court, they would lose them children. But you know what's funny, man? The tone of this conversation changed a whole lot.
Yeah.
Man, it sounded a lot more logical. Because at first it was, well, woman just don't get mad at you for no reason. What you do?
Yeah.
Well, you want to know what I did? I left her. Because like Curtis said, you ain't got to put up with that mess. I heard some words earlier. A man want to allow. But guess what? When that woman refused to cooperate, what he supposed to do? Beat her? Make her? I'm not going to allow you to keep my son from me. I don't want you to see him. I'm going to beat you. You still going to court then. Now you don't stack the deck against yourself. So, I mean, what other ways can you go with somebody that is vengeful, uncooperative, spiteful, and just choose to treat you as the enemy because you wouldn't put up with their mess? So I keep hearing these terms about weak men and a man being a man and a man being a good father and a good father always fighting. And, you know, that happens. And that still can be tiresome. You can go broke doing that. You know, the cost of retaining lawyers for family court and custody has quadrupled.
Yeah.
In just the last 3 years. It went from $1,500 to $4,500. And in some cases, you got to pay $6,000 to go and get a child that you are guaranteed to get custody of, but you can't get custody unless you pay this attorney to come and speak that language for you and give them the same evidence that you got that a judge won't give you custody for.
Wow.
Oh, it's a money game. It's a money game. So, you know, it's a whole lot tied into these situations where this behavior forms. And we could go back and blame weak men and men not being good. And if you let a woman push you out the house and nag you, you weak. Well, see, sometimes men kill themselves trying to stay. Sometimes the children see a worse situation as an example by the man sitting there being kicked and beaten and mentally abused and disrespected like that. But I'm gonna be a man and I'm gonna stay around for the children. And that's her. That's how she act. No, you gonna leave. And now she mad. So, you know, it's funny, man. The tone of this conversation changed a whole lot, didn't it?
Yeah. And see, and that's a lot of times, that's a lot of reasons why, you know, I stay with the conversation for a while, because I know if the more we talk about it, the more it's going to evolve and go into a 9 times out of 10, a more positive type direction, instead of that "you told Harpo to beat me" type situation. No, and we certainly can't do that. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, you know, I was just, you know, I know we're talking about the relationships, but, you know, unfortunately, the amount of children in foster care, it is like going up. That means that there are some people not doing what they're supposed to do. Disproportionately, it's Hispanic and Black. Of course, the white population is really up there because of their percentage in the United States, but parents are not doing what they're supposed to do. And this, you know, I'm gonna use the word, this pisses me off more than anything else. You got a bunch of single parents, mothers. I need women to just be more responsible. I'm sorry. I'm so sick of just throwing your legs up, giving it to anybody you want to, popping out these babies and not being responsible. And you want to still hang and do, you know, you're not taking care of the children, and you're on the welfare system, and then the children end up in foster care. I'm freaking sick of it. Women need to stop being so damn trifling.
Wow, Captain. How do you follow that up? Captain, you there? Captain said, I'm not going to follow that up. I'm not going to say a word. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I like what Miss Cassandra says. When you see it in your face,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the way I was a court-appointed special advocate for children in the court system. Trust me, a lot of this stuff that people are talking about, I want to clarify earlier so I don't forget. There's a difference between doing what is right and what you think a right is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you start doing what is right, you have a better percentage of success. This notion about what a right of this and a right to do that, do you want to be right? So if you want to be right, you will be trying to do those things that are right.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't you plan parenthood? Why not? What you know, you act as if I could see if there's extreme mental illness and things like that. I think we've covered that. Well, what is she nagging about? Is she nagging about how you got 3 other situations just like us on the other side of town? Is she nagging about how you treat her? What is she nagging about? We never talked about what the issue was. We just said that she was nagging, and people already attributed that to being female anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But we never talked about what she was nagging about.
No,
what the issue was, or what caused this distress to happen. Because you remember, y'all was just up under each other, sweating and slobbing and carrying on.
Mm-hmm.
But now all of a sudden, something changed.
Well, and to your point, we did not discuss what the
we went with the stereotype.
No, I ain't gonna say we went to the stereotype, but I will say that we didn't necessarily specify what the area of nagging is, and it could be a whole lot of different things. I mean, I could throw it out there, fellas. What do y'all think the nagging is? Anybody?
Because I don't live with it, so I don't know.
Me either. I don't
Well,
either.
I think that
It's all so. Go ahead, sis.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I just think that it just because I did allude to it that if you just angry and nagging just because you're just unhappy and everything they do is wrong is a problem, then there is no communication or you don't know how to communicate. But if it's if they consider it nagging because you're trying to help push them somewhere you see potential and maybe they're nervous or scared or don't believe in themselves, then that's different. But and nagging in its base is a negative connotation. So then it's going to lend itself to all of those things that is non-productive. And so, but also, which has been stated already, if the two individuals involved are already immature in their own right, then it's going to be a very uneasy journey or route and difficult for either one of them to stay with each other because they're not going to see their own immaturity, and so even for me I have to deal with it as, my husband was married before and he has a child and she wouldn't let him see him. And, and when they talk, it would get very disheartening in terms of them not being able to communicate, even when they try to discuss things dealing with the child. And so when I came onto the scene, then it's like, oh, well, you did, and so, but as for me, I could have just let that be, but I was like, let me have a conversation. I know that there's some hurt there, but the same way that you want people to deal with you, to say that you did mature, that you can change, you have to give him that same credibility and space to be able to mature and change as well. You can't keep holding to the past of what that incident was, or just the fact that you're unhappy that things didn't work, and then make that the narrative and the story for him forever, as if he can't grow up too or change or become better. And sometimes it takes somebody else having that conversation with that woman that has that insight or maturity to say it the same way you want to be handled, that you're still not that 19, 20-year-old person, then you have to give him that same credit too.
Exactly.
And then over time, with that conversation and that mindset, we were able to move forward and he's been able to have his son. But sometimes women live in that space and don't give men the credit because they just want to stay with that one hurt. But men grow up too.
Exactly. Pete?
She covered it. I don't need to say anything.
she already covered it. Good deal. Well, the phone lines are open 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Bishop, what's on your heart?
Well, Leonard provoked Ms. Rodman to bring to light the reality of what is. And it's just the fact of two sides to every story. Not holding on to anybody's immaturity, and it's time for us all to mature so that we don't negatively impact the children's lives. So, I'm about peak now. Listen, hey man, they done said enough. I don't think I can do that anything to it.
Absolutely. Willa!
Good morning.
Good morning, Willa.
Raheem.
How you doing this morning?
Man, I am so tired.
I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came to join us. We're talking about children and two consenting adults get together and they produce a child. And now after they do that, they can't set horses together. They just can't get along at all. A lot of times the man would leave. And what we're talking about today is men stay with your families. But on the other side of the coin, women stop running good men away. Can you see what do you see in that? Can that happen? Can a I'm trying to come up with a better word than nagging. Let's say it like this: could a dissatisfied woman run a good man away?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. We see that a lot, Raheem, and we see how a lot of women use the children as a pawn, like a checkerboard or playing chess. You know, I wish sometimes their thought process would be what's best for the children, but when they lose this credit with the man and the relationship, it's not going the way that they want to. They now are using the children as a way of keeping the child from their father, whether it's a girl or boy, and it does, you know, and I think that that's really bad, you know, that they do that because they're not thinking about the children and what kind of effect that has on them, because it does have a negative effect on their children, and they grow up with that mindset. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I know one situation now that this young lady, I mean, she's probably about in her 30s, and she does allow her the ex to see the child, but on the other side, he is bringing this child in a negative environment, should I say. He's a gangbanger. When he gets the child, he has the child in the car. He brings them around things that he shouldn't bring them around. So, you know, sometimes, you know, it's good, sometimes it's bad. But yes, to your question, yeah, women do that most of the time. Now, I'm not gonna say all the time.
Okay.
But
now,
yeah,
is
sad.
Is the man wrong if he decides to leave? Is he wrong?
Well, it's our own choice to choose what we want to do in life. You know, some people want to live in that situation for the rest of their life and think it's going to change. I mean, that's their choice. You know, but if they choose to say, you know, I can do something better outside this relationship, I can follow my path of life and still be able to do something for my child, it's their choice. But I don't know, but I wouldn't stay in a toxic situation because I want to be there for my children, but I couldn't do it living that kind of life and someone is beating me every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to physically hit nobody to mentally abuse them. And, you know, then you're changing. You're not making the situation even better.
Yeah.
So I think it's always, if it's that way, I think, you know, it's always good to leave and then just find a avenue to get back to help your child some kind of way.
That's good. That's good. Rico, I think you said you had a question, brother.
Yeah, first I want to say, man, I agree with what she said, man. You know, if the man has given, he got to at least give his best attempt. He got to at least make his best effort. And if he's made his best effort to try to make this thing work and she just refused to cooperate, you got to go. It's abusive. It could be negative. But my question is this, because, you know, earlier it was like a lot of blame placed on the men and the decision they made. And so I want to ask, in relationships, is the ball in the court more of the man or the woman to determine who they're going to mate with? Is it most likely that a man is going to choose a woman and that woman is going to say, okay, I'm going to go with you, or a man go to a woman and the woman say, okay, I choose you? What's the likelihood of the woman choosing a man and making the wrong decision? I don't even say making the wrong decision, but the woman deciding who she wants to lay with.
I'm gonna say it like this, man, and I want to hear everybody else's input on it as well. But I think that it's the woman make the decision, the woman make the choice. You know, we can go out there, we can petition, we can do everything we want to do to make ourselves more presentable. But I think at the end of the day, it's the woman's decision who she's going to be with. But that's just me talking. Anybody else? How y'all feel about it? Anybody? Everybody gets quiet.
Say that again.
I think there's a song that says the power of the P. And so I think there's some truth to that because men can be very convincing, very suave and suave in their talk. But the woman is going to make the decision. I think I saw a post the other day where a woman came on, I guess, trying to argue her position in terms of her status of being the first baby mama of this guy. But she was like, it was only for the, you know, she didn't think that he was going to be a quote unquote deadbeat. She was going to be penis. And so it's just like, well, you had some choices before that. Like, you do know, like, the aftermath, especially not using protection, that you could possibly have a child in there. So you can't just, I think the woman has a lot more power than what we tend to use or like to believe.
Good deal. Captain, what do you say to that? Captain, you there? Tori, you want to talk to me, sis?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Captain, you there?
Yes.
Okay. Who make the decision?
In terms of what? I'm sorry. In terms of what?
Relationship. Whether you're going to get together and perform adult activities. Is it the man's choice or is it the woman's choice? Who make the ultimate decision?
Well, you know, some men love women dominating them, man. I mean, that's just the nature of mating. I mean, mating, being with a mate. And some women love a man dominating them. I mean, I believe most women, I can't speak for all, but I do believe most women love when a brother take charge. You know, I mean, he can always, there's two ways that it can be done. She can say, what you like to eat for dinner, sweetheart? Well, baby, whatever you fix. Or it could go, you know, what you like for dinner? Well, here's what I like for dinner today, sweetheart. Or it could go, you know, hey, baby, what you gonna cook me? What do you want? You know? So, you know, the relationship varies. It depends on how that man came up. I had my father. I'm trying to be like my father. I don't know how to, but my father, he was the head of the house, for real, for real. He was little King Kong, man. You know, we couldn't eat till he got home. I mean, when I think about my pops, he was not he never played. You know, I never remember him playing with, you know. He never played with us, man. He wasn't like, yeah, daddy, you know. This dude was always serious, man. And I mean, as I'm thinking about, he would come home and you could smell the dirt of the earth on it. He put some work in, and he'd take the newspaper hat on his arm and come in, wash his hand, take off them work boots and get at the head of the table. And we like, now we can eat now. Pop's on. My mama served him. She didn't serve him on no plate. She served his food on a turkey platter, you know. And I'm looking like, God, dog, man, he got the best pieces of chicken and his biscuits. It's got butter dripping off of them. And my mama treated him because my dad, he went to work every day to take care of 12 children. And so out of that, he was the man. And if he wanted to do something, my mama would ask him, you know, what you want to do? He'd say it. But I think it's a choice between how a man is raised, what father, if he's seen his father always being, we call him handpicked. Brothers know what handpick is. But
yes, sir.
I just think that the man is a joint. I think some women are good and it's a duel. It's a duel. I'm not going to even say a woman should know, no, man's supposed to know, because we do some dumb stuff, man. And my wife, I thank God for her, man, because she keeps me on point. And when I do something dumb, she'll point it out to me, you know, and I could be a man, hey, I know what I'm doing, woman. But, you know, you driving around, you lost, your pride won't even allow you to ask where you at. So you just keep going around, she looking at you like a dummy. Why don't you ask these people in the Philistine and ask them where you at?
You got a GPS, turn it on. I don't need that.
I don't need that. See,
what I need that for? Know where I'm at. I'm right here. I'm right here.
That's right. So I think it's a joint thing. I love women. I really do. And I don't think that there should be no will. If we got a good relationship, she don't mind allowing us every now and then to take the helm. I'm gonna say that again. She don't giving us the helm every now and then, but we appreciate that, But I think it's a joint thing.
Absolutely. And Toya, when they ask the question, who actually make that decision? Is it a Teddy P thing, or you got what I need? Talk to me. Says, what's on your heart?
Yeah, no, listen, it's a joint decision. I believe in structure, I believe in order, but there are men out there women didn't get. You can throw yourself at them all you want to, think you're teasing them with, all men want, and then you think you do all these things, and you ain't gonna get them. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to be cool with that. So I believe it's a joint venture. I think you have to be committed. I think in order for someone to make it 50 years, you got to have already wanted that from Jump Street. Because it's tough out here to be in a relationship to support someone. But very valid. If you're going to be a man and lead me, you better be quicker, faster, and smarter. That's what I'm saying. And I think there's an initial innate desire that, because there's
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And I heard you say that a couple of times. Let me ask you this question. If the man come along, and let me do this. We have put on both screen. If the man comes along, and he's not as swift or not as sharp as you are at this stage in your life, are you willing to work with him? Say, well, I see something in him. Are you willing to work? Are you willing to work with him to the point where y'all can grow to that point together, or does he have to come to you like that?
I believe in working together, but if you're showing me, like Tucson said, you say you like to cook, but for 6 months we always went out. You ain't never fought to cook. Like, wait a minute, hold up, we not going out tonight. You spend enough money. We finna go cook. There are certain things you should be looking for. And if I don't see that in him, he can talk all he wants to. Why you decide of today, of all days, to put me on full screen, Raheem? But it's all good because I ain't never scared. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like, sometimes you see signs. They talk, oh, yeah, I work at Pillsbury and I make $72 an hour. And y'all talking and planning, but you always got to go pick him up. And his car been in the shop for 6 months.
Wow.
He ain't never got his car at the shop, but he makes $72 an hour. I mean, it's just certain things like we are blind to, and we because we like a person, we do it. So it's a joint venture, in my opinion. It's really, I think in order for you to lead me, okay, you ain't got to be as quick, as fast, as smart, but you're still not being true. A real man not gonna lie.
Exactly.
A real man gonna get up and work. He not gonna lie about working. He can have a little bit of money and make it do what it do. It has nothing to do with being responsible. And I think being responsible is what make you a real man. You understand what I'm saying? Handling your business is what make you a real man. Standing firm. I understand a woman can be weak. Oh my God, I love her. I want to give her what she wants. But I'm a man and I got to stand up and put my foot down, and certain things just can't fly. And if you want to leave and walk away because of that, I'm going to have to be a strong man and handle it. And vice versa for the woman. I don't think neither one should be weak or anything because of love or position or religion. I think both should be able to have a common ground on what the right thing to do is, and always be willing to pull the other up if needed and do the right thing, period.
So basically, you ain't getting that expensive purse you talking about. You better go to Walmart and get your pocketbook.
Well, if I can afford the expensive purse.
Okay, some just happened.
If I can afford the expensive purse, and don't I think it's unfair to try to control my money if I make more money than you. And then now, let's be responsible. Honey, I done matched you and some, honey. I'm finna get this purse today. And matter of fact, I'm gonna have you.
On
top of that, if I got a purse for me, you best believe you got the wallet, the shoes, and the backpack. You best believe I'm not going shopping for me and not for you. You best
But see,
believe that. Once
but
we
no. We
no,
don't. I understand what you're saying, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. But my thing is right here. We trying to buy this house. We trying to buy the house of our dreams.
house should already be bought at that point. I mean, what
No,
are we talking about
no,
in the
you
beginning?
growing. Yeah, in the beginning. Yeah, we growing. We're trying to get to the place. We're trying to get this house of our dreams. You don't need to go out there and purchase the car of your dreams before we get the house of our dreams. You don't need to go out there and purchase all them pocketbooks and big fancy purses and all this stuff. I don't want you to get me all that stuff. Let's concentrate on getting this house. And then after
But
we get
she
the house,
make more money than you though.
doesn't matter who make the most. If y'all together, y'all together. It doesn't matter who make the most money. Typically the society says that the man's supposed to make more money. That's what society said. That's maybe some kind of double standard that has been put out there for a long time. But my thing is, it doesn't matter who makes the most money. Our money going together, we're gonna buy this house together. We're gonna live and enjoy this house together. If you make two more cents than I make, it don't make no difference to me. If I make 50 more cents than you make, don't make no difference. We're gonna buy this house together. Willa, what's on your heart?
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
The question was threw out there: who makes the decision when it's between the man and the woman? And I thought about this. Adam said, "God, it was that woman that you gave me," because he asked him the question, "Why did you eat?" It was that woman that you gave me, because of the fact that women, and it's sad to say, even though Cap was right, men should be the head of the household. I believe it. I believe that it is a man's world, but the women are making the decisions for them because they become so weak sometimes. Men become so weak because of the desires of a woman. She could dress herself up like Halle Berry or some other good-looking woman, and he'll lose his mind. She could put on a good-smelling perfume and talk soft and get into his head, and he forgot the house that he had before she started talking. So come on now. Y'all know who makes the decision sometimes. I'm not talking about in a good relationship. I'm talking about how women just sometimes manipulate men because they know they can. They know they can because of the desires of a man.
Yeah.
They know how to. I'm a woman. I know. So it depends on what kind of woman you choose. And most of the time, men, and I'm not trying to step on all the men, because put yourself in your own category, because there are women out there who manipulate those kind of men. And you know what they're coming after you for. And you still ruin your whole household. So come on, the question was, who makes the decision? That was the question.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say most women do.
Wow. Cassandra?
Yeah. I think a lot of times the men choose being with the women, and the reason I say that is because I see how desperate a lot of women are now and what they do in order to draw the men's attention. And that means that they have to make the choice. And most of them are choosing multiple women, the single ones and some of the married ones actually. But it's like they're in a parade or a pageant or a competition. That's why women are so competitive with each other, and who can get the bigger boobs and who can get the bigger butt, and who can wear the lashes where they can't even see from the lashes and the fake hair and all that stuff, and that's well and good if you're doing it for yourself, but that's not why they're doing it. They're doing it to attract the men, because they want men. They want that male attention, and because there are more of us than there are of them, they have the home court advantage. I'm just saying.
Wow. Rosalind?
Yeah, I gotta piggyback off Miss Cassandra. Everything she said is dead on point. It's like we're all in a competition. I mean, I'm not in a competition. And I don't have no big boobs, big butt, and all that. But when I walk in a room, I capture attention from men. I turn heads because I'm very confident. And when they look at me, they're looking at a woman. They ain't looking at all that other stuff. They looking at a woman. I'm just gonna put that out there. But Miss
I
Cassandra
told
is
you,
just
I'm
correct.
gonna
Everything she
bring
said
up
is
my
correct.
dating show. I'm gonna bring my dating show up, Rosalind. We're gonna have you as a contestant. Because I'm gonna tell you something.
She gonna get somebody. Somebody go bite that apple, boy.
I'm telling you, man. I'm
A
gonna have
real
it.
woman.
I'm gonna do that day. As a matter of fact, we might do it Friday. We might do it Friday at 6 o'clock. We might do a dating show Friday at 6 o'clock. So if anybody's out there that's single that want to be a part of a dating show, Friday at 6 o'clock is what I think we're gonna do. So Rosalind, are you available Friday at 6 o'clock?
I think I am.
Okay, good deal. Because
She's about a year late, but Rosalind, don't hold your breath on that, because whoever started this conversation ain't even show up, and I still want to know who won that tennis match last year that they had.
Oh man, see.
So don't hold your breath on that.
Now see, but Rico, yeah, let put it out there. Don't put half thing. It wasn't on me though. I was ready. I was ready. And the same person, and we're not gonna call no name, but the same person that started this conversation yesterday ain't even here today.
Are y'all talking about Annette?
I wasn't gonna call no name. Let us see.
I know you wasn't, but that's my job. It was Annette.
See, and we supposed to have been playing tennis about a year and a half ago, I think it was. And she said she gonna beat the brakes off me and all this stuff and all. I'm gonna get on her when I see her though. When I see her or talk to her, I'm gonna have to get on her, man.
Can I throw something in?
Man, how you gonna just stop me from talking, Badger? Go ahead, brother. What's on your heart? Badger?
To me, we're individuals, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And there are times where an individual has a weakness or a struggle. And one of the things that's always like been on my mind is like when it comes to social things and knowing what's socially acceptable and things like that. My wife is way smarter. So when it comes to a lot of decisions like that, I rely on her. When it comes to finances, I take care of the finances because it's something that she struggles with and I'm good at. So we share the responsibility. Whatever, and work together, not only to uplift each other and help us with what we struggle with, but also step in when the other is struggling. And to me, that's part of the taking responsibility. I can't tell you how many times I wish my dad would have took me away from my mother sooner than he did. You know, being taken around and forced to watch her have sex with other men and all kinds of stuff like that. So but I can also say the same thing about a woman that's letting their kids experience watching a male do something like that. So it's, to me, in my perception, is there's a responsibility with each individual based on the situation the two people are in, their relationship or whatever they want to call it. And if one is having such a bad issue and they're refusing to seek help, no matter what you do, to make sure they're get to help to support them in seeking help, and they just flat out refuse.
Wow,
that's extremely harmful, especially when there's kids involved. Because what is that teaching the kids? What is that like? And so there's a lot of things that I've heard today that's like made my skin crawl. Because to me, when you put that much pressure on a human being, be it male or female, there are some that can handle it, and there are some that it's going to break.
Good deal. Good deal. Anybody, we're going to get out of here. We're actually overtime already, so I want to make sure that I touch everybody. Yes, we got. If you're going to say something, give me your quickest version, and we got to get on out of here. Anything on anybody's heart?
Let me try to squeeze this in real quick, man. I was glad everybody went in that direction because I asked the question for a reason. I believe deep down inside, overall, the majority of the power is in the woman. So I'm going to give you this scenario. A man gets down on one knee and he proposes to a woman because we say that's the order it's supposed to go in. It is out of order for a woman to propose to a man. So a man proposes to a woman, get down on one knee. Will you go to the Hokey Pokey with me? I want to take you to the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. And she has a decision to make. Y'all thought I was going to say, will you marry me? She still got a decision to make. That woman can decide who the baby of her daddy is just by who she sleep with. That man can't decide if he's going to be the baby of that daddy if she's sleeping with multiple men. She chooses that. That she is the presenter of life in this existence. She is the God of introduction of life. We may create and fertilize the egg, but that passion, she determines who fertilizes her egg. She determines who she marries. The man is going to ask. We propose. We make the proposition. But the woman makes the choice. So Cassandra made a point earlier. She said she was tired of these trifling women just popping their legs open nowadays, doing what they're doing. And see, that is something that needs to be addressed. And I thought we was going to sort of get there because we had this Roe versus Wade thing. And it got overturned. Shouldn't have been overturned. But once again, there are some trifling women that carried themselves and they committed certain behaviors and activities that gave people a leg and ammunition to stand on. And now we have to let them take responsibility, even though that might be it might not be a good enough reason or the true reason why they did repeal it or overturn it. But they gave them ammo, all because we were acting irresponsible. And I want to just say we, because the man might say he wanted that child, but guess who had the decision on whether or not she wanted to keep it? That's power.
Wow.
You determine on whether or not you want to keep a life or not. And we talking about the men got the power. For real? How many men you know propose to a woman and she say no? He said, well, I don't want to hear that. Pop them legs open and get over here. It don't happen like that. She make a choice to say, you know what? I heard about you. I know you might be a bad guy, but I think I could change you, or for whatever reason or excuse.
Good deal.
She uses to choose the wrong person. She got that power.
Absolutely. Anybody else? It's 10:13. We got to get out of here. Anybody else have anything on their heart before we get out of here? 1, 2, 3. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to see or hear the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
It's amazing how we started in one place in this conversation and transitioned 2 or 3 different places before the end. So, you know, that's one of the things I love about this broadcast, man. It changes. It changes. But speaking of that, Willow!
Raheem, come on. I'm ready. I'm up now.
Willow, are you ready?
Come on, Raheem. I am so ready, Raheem, to receive the word of God.
Well, Willow,
come on, Raheem. Let us go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go before the throne. Let's go before his throne of grace this morning. Father, I am so glad that you allowed us to get up this morning. I thank you, Lord, for allowing us to get up to talk to one another, Lord. We thank you for the wisdom, Lord. We thank you for the guidance, Lord. Father, we just thank you, Lord, for what you do in our lives, oh Lord. Father, there's someone, Lord, that needs you this morning, Lord. I don't know who it is, but Father, you know. Father, touch their heart. And whatever it is that they're going through, oh Lord, Father, I'm asking you to help them through it, Lord. Give them strength and knowledge, understanding, and line them up with your will. Father, I thank you. Father, touch each and every last one that's on this line, Lord. Keep Raheem and his family safe, Lord. Keep the success of this show going, Lord. Father, I thank you for it, Lord. In Christ Jesus' name, I thank you for the Holy Spirit that guide us, lead us, and direct us. In Christ Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
Rico?
She's back. She's back.
Good deal. Good deal. I'm looking at the clock. Anybody have anything before we get out of here? This is Way Out Wednesday. Anybody have anything you want to say before we end? Everybody good to go? How they say it in the church? If all hearts and minds are clear, It is now, I want to thank everybody for joining us in morning. It is now 10:15. You're about to exit the morning glow. I want to thank everybody for joining us in more than that. I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:15. You're about to exit the morning glow. But before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light on you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. Get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. And please, please, please be blessed.